What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 6 Chapter 161, Hanzo's Little Action, 4, subscribe. When he was hanging out with a group of poor people, Uchiha Qiye said that when he was paying for money and looking around him enviously, he still had a sense of superiority. But, for him, this sense of superiority only lasted for a short second. To him, the most important thing is to pretend, during this time. He worked hard and did his best for the Shao organization, although he was pretending to be a big guy, but he didn't pretend to be a force during this time, which made him feel uncomfortable. Force the king not to pretend. If this is spread out, it should not be ridiculed. But, after Yahiko on the opposite side received the money, he wrote an account on the account book organized by Zaishao again, and he has now given up treatment. How much debt is not overwhelmed? He, Yahiko, will always get used to it slowly. All of these. 747, it's all for the sake of the organization. Regarding the East Factory, I have also selected more than a dozen outstanding seeds for training. I have checked them, and with their qualifications, under my careful cultivation, within a year, I can transfer their strength training to the level of a particular Jonin. 99. Uchiha Qiye said to Yahiko. He is very clear about the importance of this Dongchang troop. During this period of time, among the students who were opened by him, he accurately selected the group with the highest qualifications. According to his training of these people, he felt that there should be no problem in cultivating a batch of Jonin. It's up to you to arrange things in the East Factory, Mr. Zug. Yahiko said. His words were full of trust in Zug Village Master, otherwise, how could he hand over all the institutions directly tied to his East Factory, to Zug Village Master? Uchiha Qiye nodded. It's not that he was bragging, it's just that he is the only one who can quickly train a powerful team in the current Shao organization. Core meeting. It will be over soon, it's just a few random things. The following days. The plan to capture the Rain Country is still in steady progress, and their actions are very fast. In a short period of time, one by one villages were occupied by their Shao organization. Half a month. Almost all the villages on the edge of the Rain Country fell into the hands of their Shao organization. And the third batch of students also came. The number of students in the third batch of Shao organization is more than 1,800 people. This is almost a group of people from dozens of villages on the edge of the Rain Country. Advertisement. This number is naturally a lot, but distribute these people in the villages they will occupy later. In each village, almost 30 people chose to join the Shao organization. Of course, this was also what Uchiha Qiye expected. Not everyone wants to hang their heads around their necks for a living. That way. It's too dangerous. But, including the first two batches of students, the total number of students in the three batches has reached about 2,500. If this group of people is trained, it will be an amazing amount of combat power. As the saying goes, 2 fists are no match for 4 hands. In the ninja world, this sentence is also universal. Certainly, this is for cage level and ninjas with strength below cage level. Cage level is strong, but it doesn't mean that you can use the C tactics to kill. If there are hundreds of Jonin to deal with cage level will not be able to handle it. But the effect of this crowd tactics is only up to the cage level. Ultra cage level, the role of the sea of tactics is not necessarily so significant. Or rather, in the ninja world, you can only use crowd tactics against cage level powerhouses, and beyond cage level, it's really not that easy to do. Cage level powerhouses, a large village, even if the cage level of their own village does not take action, they also have enough Jonin, Chunin, and Genin to kill cage level. Can exceed cage level. Feel sorry. This is estimated to pull the combat power of the entire ninja world together. Uchiha Madara and Senju Hashirama, this super cage level. Are crowd tactics useful? The complete body Susanoo is opened, and a knife is easily slashed. 4 or 5 mountains are directly cut in half, and cage level can't hold a knife. With Senju Hashirama, others can let you both hands to play. Certainly. The opponent's true several thousand hands gave up 2 hands, and there are hands with unclear values. With one move, not to mention that you have tens of thousands of ninjas in cage levels. Advertisement. Direct bombing all over the map. Who can resist such an attack? FF. When faced with super cage level tactics, it is almost impossible to achieve the crowd tactics unless you can bring out Sage of 6 Paths, let him call people, and call thousands of cage level powerhouses out to fight a super cage. Level still has a certain chance. But below the super cage level, almost, you can use the crowd tactics to kill the opponent. The number of 2,000 people, it's amazing. As long as this student graduates, even if it is only at the level of Genin and there are many people, he can still fight against the Hanzo army. The first batch of Shao organization students have all graduated during this period of time. And after they graduate, the first one was sent to guard the villages they conquered. And the second batch of Shao organization students. So far, it is only halfway through graduation, besides. In the third batch of students, some of them graduated one after another. This made Shao organization's urgency in the hands of people much easier. Akatsuki organizes actions here, but it was Hanzo in Rain Shinobi Village who paid a little attention. Rain Shinobi Village. What's going on with the taxes in Yuan Village and Wanan Village? Hanzo asked with a frown. Every village has to pay various taxes every month, and the taxes here are paid by the garrison ninjas. However, this month's taxes are paid by other villages, but only Yuan village and Nan village. There was no movement in the two villages. This made him very uncomfortable. 2.9, Lord Hanzo, the tax has not been paid over there, and we don't know what's going on there. How about we send someone over there to take a look? 99. One of Hanzo's subordinates said, send a Chunin over to investigate the situation, no matter what the reason is, inform the past, if the money is not paid, the consequences will be at your own risk. 35. Hanzo said coldly, soon. His subordinates responded quickly. P.S. Go up, go up, go up, go up, last Friday's 4th update, also up, Yanzu readers, subscribe to support a wave. A rain shinobi Chunin passed in the direction of Source Village, and Shi Village. Yes. After answering, over there, at the border, he doesn't know the situation, but if the money that belongs to him is less, don't blame him for going crazy. Chapter 162. Rain shinobi Chunin. Gone. You don't talk about martial arts. 5. Subscribe. Source Village. Shao Organization Base. Hurry up, didn't you eat? You walked so slowly. Dared to come to our Source Village to make trouble? Your head was kicked by a donkey? Several members of the outer gate wearing Akatsuki's medals and symbols pushed a ninja with a forehead protector from Rain Shinobi Village on his head and walked inside. Rain Shinobi Chunin, 66. 99. There was a painful expression on his face, and at the same time, his heart wanted to die. He just obeyed the order and was arranged for Yuan Village to inquire about the reason why Yuan Village and Shi Village's taxes hadn't been turned in. AJ, I didn't think of anything. He had just entered the village, not even 2 minutes. Just suddenly, more than 30 people wearing a red cloud-shaped medal surrounded him directly. Then, before he had time to resist, these 30 people directly captured him live. Gone. He just wants to yell at these people, RNM, not martial arts, sneak attack on this 21-year-old young man. But, now that he was caught, there was nothing he could do. At the same time, in my heart, I am shocked by the existence of these at least 2 14-digit ninjas in Yuan Village. In this place, there should only be 3 Rain Shinobi Genin stationed there. But now, this appearance is 30 ninjas, and these people have a unified red cloud-shaped medal. As you can imagine, these people are from an organization. With so many Genins under his command, the leader of this organization must at least be at the level of Jonin. In the village on the border of the Land of Rain, such an incredible organization actually appeared, and it appeared quietly, which made him very suspicious of what the other party's motive was. And now, he is being taken by the people of this group to meet their leaders. After walking for a while, soon, he was just taken. Advertisement in the room. There are several figures. On his body, he was wearing a royal robe with red clouds on a black background. Although he didn't know the weather in the Land of Rain, why did the other party put on a short-sleeved royal robe on top of his original clothes? Probably kicked in the head by a donkey, but he could see that these people were senior members of the organization. My lord, this is the ninja of Rain Shinobi Village. We saw that he was wearing Rain Shinobi's forehead protector on his head, so we organized people to capture him as soon as possible. The members of the outer door of the Shao organization said to several cadres. One listen. The first few cadres also set their eyes on the name of Rain Shinobi Chunin, and could not help frowning, and then they asked. From Hanzo? Rain Shinobi in Rain Shinobi Village are almost all under the control of Hanzo. They can only be regarded as the marginal Rain Shinobi, but they did not join the ranks of Hanzo, but chose an organization like Akatsu to join. But this time, they didn't think it was a coincidence that a Rain Shinobi Chunin could come to their source village. Who are you? Rain Shinobi Chunin was silent for a moment and asked. This organization. He still doesn't know what's going on. As a ninja, his first reaction is to use language to understand the identity of the other party and so on. You have no right to know. And Shao organization cadre looked at him coldly and said. Then I won't say anything, Rain Shinobi Chunin said through gritted teeth. At any rate, he also received professional training in Rain Shinobi Village, and he still knows that the other party needs his information. If he tells his own information immediately, then he is really useless. Waste. Therefore, he was going to grit his teeth and absolutely couldn't say it. He also thought that even if the other party imprisoned him, he would also pass on the information of this mysterious organization. However, do not say, a cadre just laughed. Do you think we won't know if you don't tell us? Wood is why Hanzo sent you here, and your appearance can only be said to be a coincidence. Don't think we know how much the organization needs to pry the intelligence out of your mouth. 99. Advertisement. You look too high on yourself. The Shao organization cadre looked at the Rain Shinobi Chunin coldly, then waved his hand and said to several members of the Shao organization. Take it down, lock it up, don't give too much food, just make sure he doesn't die. Yes. Several members of the outer sect responded, and then they were brought down directly. Boom. Door, close. Tanaka, the appearance of the name Chunin may be a coincidence, but since he is here, we must be prepared. 55. This person is being held by us, and after a few days, there is no news from Rain Shinobi Village, and sooner or later something abnormal will happen. I'm going to report this news to the leader and Zub military division. 66. 99. After a few cadres discussed it, they soon came to a conclusion. Subsequently, soon, a figure came out and went to find their leader and military division. Chief's office. Master Zug, it seems that we are really in trouble. After Yahiko received the information, he immediately asked 747 people to notify Uchiha Qiye, Not long after, Uchiha Qiye walked in with a feather fan. And the first sentence that comes in, that's what Yahiko said. What's up? Uchiha Qiye frowned and asked, is such that? Yahiko also quickly explained the matter, and soon, Uchiha Qiye understood the matter clearly. All of this is in my plan. P.S. Go up, go up, go up, last Friday's 5th update. Also up, Yanzu readers, subscribe to support a wave, close black lens bracket. Small things, don't worry, in plan, it's just that he's forcing it. P.S. I feel that the more I owe, the more I owe, the more I owe. Dear Yanzu readers, why don't you just remove the last P.S., it feels meaningless. During this period of time, the slow update is so handsome that the author is forced to me pot. I recognize the author. I'm lazy. Sorry. In 2 days, let's add an update to all Yanzu readers, close black lens bracket. However, this matter is not a big deal, it will not hinder his plan to pretend to be a big guy, on the contrary, it will speed up this plan. After listening, Uchiha Qiye gently fanned with a feather fan and said confidently. No, he's not that good at planning that much. Chapter 163. The sound of pretending to force that I haven't heard for a long time is here. 1. Subscribe. The strategist deserves to be a strategist, this is actually within the strategist's plan. Yahiko's eyes lit up and said, in their eyes, the Zug village master can already be said to be a god person, and in a short period of time, the Shao organization has grown to such a degree. Even Hanzo, the god, is far less powerful than the Zug village master. Low profile. Uchiha Qiye waved the feather fan gently and said, whether I believe it or not, anyway, you just have to believe it. Ding, host is successful in pretending to force point plus 9995. Ding. The loading point is automatically assigned, the superior sage body plus 666, the superior wood style plus 333. Ding. Senior sage body, 6849 tenths.0000. The experience is not full. Please try to pretend to be the host and let the ability level up. Ding. Senior wood style, 13,818 tenths.0000. The experience is not full. Please try to pretend to be the host and upgrade the ability. 39. The familiar system prompt sounded in his ears, made him miss it. During this period of time, I didn't pretend to be forceful, and it was really about to make him sick. Force it. Comfortable. Hanzo will discover our existence sooner or later, but there is no need to panic, our plan is still the same, but the speed of action is faster. Now we have won nearly half of the land of rain, but these sites are not ours at the moment. We're only in temporary possession. If we want to make these sites completely belong to our Shao organization, then we must have the strength to defend this site. So, before Hanzo discovers us completely, we need to win more territory faster. In addition, we also train talented Akatsuki members. With the fastest speed, let their talent be transformed into strength. Uchiha Qiye spoke slowly. Yahiko, Konan, and Nagato all nodded their heads after hearing this, but felt that Uchiha Qiye said too much. Certainly. At this point. In fact, Uchiha Qiye only accounts for the young age of these people. After all, being young can be tricky, but this doesn't stop Uchiha Qiye from pretending. Your strength has also touched that layer of shackles, 55. Uchiha Qiye put his eyes on the 3 and asked, advertisement. Of course he could see it. The fluctuations of chakra emanating from these 3 people are not fake. He is a super cage level existence, and he can't even sense this. Then his super cage level is really useless. After reaching the top, it is a little difficult to improve, it may take half a year to break through that layer of shackles. Yahiko said. My words are about the same. Konan also nodded and replied. Jonin level to cage level is not as easy to break as imagined, otherwise, there would not be only a few cage level in a village. Uchiha Qiye. Excuse me. He is a H**********. But, the hanging is really comfortable. I give me about 3 months and I should be able to break through. Nagato said. His strength, plus Rinnegan, was the strongest among the 3, and so was his talent. At least, he was targeted by Uchiha Madara as a descendant of the Uzumaki clan. The characteristic of the Uzumaki clan is the large amount of chakra. Talent. The Uzumaki clan are only inferior immortal bodies, and they are far stronger than ordinary people. March. I've allocated a few shadow clones to train the 3 of you one-on-one during this time. By the way, I'll also help you open your pulse to see if it works. Uchiha Qiye thought for a moment and said, now this situation. If it is said that the Jonin level strength of these 3 people is really a bit low, if you encounter Hanzo, without him, you can just lie down and wait to die. Hanzo is an old cage level. In cage level, it is considered to be the peak. Especially, this second ninja war has just been announced not long after the end. The current Hanzo. But it wasn't that Hanzo who had eaten, drank and had fun, and lost more than half of it after being happy for a long time. Right now but demigods. So, he felt that he still had the need to open a small stove for these 3 people. Advertisement improved the strength of these 3 people. Otherwise, when he was pretending to be bullying, the people in their Shao organization were beaten by Hanzo's people, so he still pretended to be a chicken feather. Military atmosphere. Yahiko and the others also lit up and said, open the pulse. This is generally just a shortcut without side effects to allow some younger generations to grow faster, but whether it can be effective for those who have been cultivating for a long time, it is not certain. But something is better than nothing, not sure. They were given a open pulse by the Zug military advisor. That layer of shackles, maybe it will be loosened? During this time, it is precisely because of the teachings of Zug military advisor that their strength has grown by leaps and bounds in the past month or so. Otherwise, their strength is estimated to be still hovering in the middle reaches of the Jonin level. This, and of course, after all, a super cage level pointer, can it be awesome? If it's not arrogant, it's really hell. Then, Uchiha Qiye also opened the pulse. For the 3 people directly on the spot. This kind of thing does not require any special preparations, nor does it require any specific time. All it takes is enough chakra and precise control over chakra. This is not difficult for him at all. What else can be happier than the improvement of one's own strength? So refreshing. Master Zug, your pulse opening is really effective. I feel that the capacity of chakra in my body has doubled, and the speed of refining chakra is also faster. Yahiko stretched his body happily, making a crisp sound of crackling. P.S. I haven't written about the handsome author of the prompt. The main reason is that I deliberately ignored the handsome author. It was a little bit of water to pave the way for the next plot, and then the prompt, the handsome author feels Yanzu the readers will shark me. So the handsome author has never written. Now I have to pretend. The prompt should also be pulled out for a walk. At this rate, it will take less than half a year, a month or 2, and I will be able to break through. Yahiko also said with a look of joy. Through Uchiha Kai's contact with Yahiko, chakra swam inside the opponent's body. Jiao Ma Jiao, and it didn't take long for the other party to successfully open pulse. Soon. Chapter 164. Conan, you. So active, 1. Subscribe. With your help from Master Zug, I am sure that I will be able to reach the cage level within half a month to a month. Nagato said with a serious face after accepting Uchiha Kai's pulse opening. It's your turn, Conan. 35 Uchiha Qiye set his eyes on Conan. Well, can you go to my room? Conan blushed. Why? Uchiha Qiye said with a black question mark. Opening the pulse is not a double cultivation, it is just a simple physical contact, so that his chakra can be transmitted to the other's body. For example, the contact of the palm or the forehead is enough. Why are you blushing? Could it be, am I already so handsome? Uchiha Qiye was startled. He never expected that he had not done anything, and he would have taken the only flower of the future Shao organization. What more can he say? I can only blame him for being so handsome. Unexpected. Conan actually likes the type of military division Zug. Yahiko and Nagato also made silent eye contact, even though they are still underage, but they have been with Zulai 747 for so long, they naturally understand this kind of thing. At the same time, both of them acted in unison. By the way, Nagato, didn't you say last time you wanted to invite me to a restaurant that tastes good? Let's go, I'm a little hungry. 99. Oh, I remembered, this is indeed the case, let's go, Yahiko. The two suddenly realized, exchange. Then, hooking his shoulders, he walked out with the appearance of a good buddy. It is really, acting sucks. Uchiha Qiye gave the two of them 2 slaps in their hearts for their acting skills, and I dare not give you 2 the task of acting as a ninja. Let's go, Sergeant Zug. Conan blushed and said, taking Uchiha Qiye to her room. If being handsome is also a sin, I guess it's a heinous crime. Uchiha Qiye shook his head helplessly, sighed secretly in his heart, and then caught up with Conan who was walking in front. He was in the other party's room and helped the other party open his pulse. Certainly, nothing happened. Advertisement nor can it happen. After all, the real age of his current body is only 5 years old, almost 6 years old. Even if you Conan take the initiative, it will be useless. And after he helped Conan open his pulse, the capacity of the opponent's chakra has also increased a lot, but that layer of shackles has not yet broken through. But with his help, it's not far off. Genin level breakthrough to Chunin level. The Chunin level breaks through to the Jonin level. The Jonin level breaks through to the cage level. It's not just a breakthrough in chakra volume. Besides, there is also chakra's breakthrough in quality, which is the real breakthrough. Just like Naruto. At the very beginning, chakra rivaled many Kakashi, but it didn't mean that the opponent's strength was stronger than Kakashi, it was just the talent of his unique Uzumaki clan. However, chakra's breakthrough in quality is crucial. Just like, Kakuzu has a lightning style, but Kakashi has to offset it with 2 Reikiri. Besides, there is also the master of chakra. For example, chakra's nature transformation, and many other things, can improve its own strength. Really judge a person's strength. It is not the quantity of chakra, nor the quality of chakra, but the extent to which the user can use his own chakra. But, chakra's quality can really judge a person's lowest level of strength. Certainly, this is for Uchiha Qiye, don't really care. Because, he is a **********. As long as you pretend to be strong, you can become stronger, who cares about these things? Just keep pushing it all the way, just like, are you Jonin? Sorry, just finished pretending, break through, I'm cage level now. No matter how strong the enemy is. Advertisement he just needs to be stronger than the enemy. So, he doesn't have to think so much, not to mention. After the skills of pretending to be forced are upgraded, each of his skills can reach the perfect control of the current realm, which makes him even less need to consider the problem of cultivation. In the next time, Uchiha Qiye split out several shadow clones. Each shadow clone has its own arrangement, some. It is teaching the three main characters, Yahiko, Nagato, and Konan. And also, it is responsible for the food problem in the Shao organization base. In addition, it is to teach the students in the Shao organization and the cadres of the Shao organization, as well as some talented members of the Shao organization. It made him very tired. With so many shadow clone splits out, there are really few people who can lift shadow clone like this and continue to do so the next day when they are extremely tired. And Uchiha Qiye, B1, his resilience is really too strong. Whether it's the amount of chakra or the recovery of his body or his mental problems. This can be said to be the strongest in the ninja world. Not to mention the amount of chakra, ultra cage level chakra. In the ninja world, there are really not many people who can have this amount of chakra. In terms of physical recovery, although his sage body has not yet reached the strongest level, the superior sage body is already very amazing. From Hashirama's physique, it is estimated that there is only a gap of 1 level. And the spirit. This goes without saying. He is from the Uchiha clan, will he be mentally poor? That's just a joke. Not to mention, his Sharingan has reached the level of Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. The improvement of Sharingan again and again, it all means the improvement of pupil strength. Pupil strength. Although it cannot fully represent spiritual power, it is also linked to spiritual power. Just as your physique has increased, your speed, punching power, and fighting ability when running will also increase in disguise. This can almost be said to be the relationship between pupil power and mental power. Chapter 165. The Otsutsuki industry is about to open all over the country of thunder. 1. Subscribe. 7 days passed in a blink of an eye. During this period, Uchiha Qiye felt that the wood clone he had left in Cloud Shinobi Village was released. Relevant memories also entered into his mind, once understood. He could only persuade. Good guy. His own wood clone was squeezed by Kakuzu, almost all of them can be said to be the 997 work system. And his wood clone is constantly training chefs. In almost 10 days, a group of chefs have been trained. Although they are novices, each of them only learns one dish, and there are more than 20 chefs in one shop. Enough. In addition, the level of chefs trained by his wood clone is not bad at all. Although not all his level, but it can be considered to have learned some fur. At least, the standard of qualification is to make a dish to the extent that it can add special effects to be considered qualified. So, these chefs trained by him can eat all over the world with one dish. In just over a month, in the past 2 months, Kakuzu has arranged all these novice chefs who have been taught well to open in the big city of Cloud Shinobi Village. In a short time, it has opened no less than 50 stores in every city in Cloud Shinobi Village. It can be said that it is the situation of the golden bucket of the day. This daily income can make Kakuzu's hands cramp. Judging from wood clone and above, Kakuzu is still very satisfied with such a harvest, but his grand career is not over yet. His goal, but it's not just the country of thunder. He is ready to open the Otsutsuki industry throughout the entire ninja world. The land of fire, the land of water, the land of earth, and the land of wind, sooner or later, must all have his Otsutsuki industry storefronts. Certainly, this is Kakuzu's idea, and Uchiha Qiye said that it's still really reassuring to leave it all to Kakuzu. Accepting this subordinate, it is worth it. Advertisement. The dividends during this period have to be taken some time to find Kakuzu. Uchiha Qiye thought secretly in his heart, the dividends in the past 2 months are not a lot at all. From what he learned, even if the principal is deducted, in addition to this, there are also funds to be used to open the store, again, a staggering sum. After all, just their store. The desserts, meals, snacks, and so on, the taste can be said to be top-notch, even if it is just some skins that he leaked, it is also an earthquake for the chef industry here in the ninja world. Only because the culinary arts in this world have not developed so well. Dare him to be a super chef, that's far worse, so that's why the storefront of Otsutsuki Industries opened by him and Kakuzu can guarantee Rijin Jindu. The date promised with Orochimaru is coming in these 2 days, and I have to spare some time to go to Konoha to find him. Uchiha Qiye also thought about the deal with Orochimaru. During this time, he was busy arranging all kinds of things in Shao's organization, and he was really dizzy, and he almost forgot about it. Too difficult. He's only 5 years old, underage. Why is he tired like a dog? He wants to report Shao to organize this organization, employing child labor, too much. The words say so, but Uchiha Qiye also started to act. Impure world reincarnation, the ninjutsu, as well as shienjutsu, this is something he is bound to acquire, which is related to his deal with Tsunade's resurrection, Nawaki. He is an honest man, so, he had to get all these things in his hands. After all, this is an important part of the resurrection plan. Then, Uchiha Qiye began to act. In the past 2 days, he began to take back all the shadow clones that were sent out to teach the members of the Shao organization. After they were lifted, he was simply exhausted. One person, but doing the same workload as 100 people, is completely squeezing him as an animal. But, it was himself who squeezed him, this is nothing to say. And Shadow Clone lifted not long after. Advertisement. Konan came over. I heard that you removed all Shadow Clone. What happened? As soon as he entered Uchiha Kai's exclusive office, Conan asked directly with a worried look on his face. Katakana middle dot seeking flowers. Nothing happened. Years Uchiha Qiye shook his head and said, "It's just that I have taught everything that I should teach, and it won't affect Shao's organization if I remove it, and I also feel a little tired during this time. Removing Shadow Clone can also help me a little bit. Relax for a while." This is the truth. He was indeed tired, even though, to him, this exhaustion was nothing. As long as all the Shadow Clones were removed, and then rested for a day or two, he would be full of energy again. But, next he's going to meet Orochimaru 0.0. Ryuchi Cave. Although he didn't know what that place was like, Ryuchi Cave, which is also one of the 3 great immortal lands, must not be simple, so he had to let himself go to the past full of energy. Don't drag a tired body over there, if something happens. The Shadow Clone left here is suddenly contacted, which is very embarrassing. During this period of time, the Shao organization has really made you tired. 99. Conan looked at Uchiha Qiye distress-edly and said, "It's this man. Single-handedly made the Shao they founded so magnificent. It will be for a while. Akatsuki's organization has already won as much as half of the land of Rain. There are nearly 1,000 genins under his command." It was the first time she heard such words from this man. And this man, exhausted, then a large number of Shadow Clone are in Shao's organization. They are chefs and manage the mouths of so many people in Shao's organization with funds. The new instructor of Shao's organization teaches ninjutsu, and in addition, assigns a few Shadow Clone special teachers. These people let their strength improve rapidly. In the end, it is necessary to manage the action plans of various Shao organizations and so on. In just over a month, the Shao organization has developed to such a degree that few people in the ninja world can achieve such a level. After she heard the other party's words, she also felt distressed for it. But it lasted so long, she probably couldn't hold it for a long time. Chapter 166. Embarrassing Yahiko. 1. Subscribe. Uchiha Qiye, who noticed the expression on Conan's face, typed a few question marks to express his current mood. The other party, are you thinking about something? Never mind. It does not matter. Uchiha Qiye thought about it for a while, and put this kind of thing behind him. The most important thing right now is to have a good rest and prepare to meet Orochimaru. After a few hasty words, Uchiha Qiye arranged all the arrangements of Shao's organization. The next week will be carried out according to this arrangement. I will go out for a few days. Uchiha Qiye handed the schedule to Conan, said, "Go out? But, Sergeant Zug, what if Hanzo called during your absence?" 35. Conan frowned and asked. Now, Zug military advisor, is the soul of Shao organization, and the various arrangements of Shao organization are also arranged by the Zug 760 military advisor. During this time, although she was not the brain of Akatsuki, Hanzo, who knew it, would probably find out the existence of Akatsuki during this period of time, and call them. If Zug military master is not there, what should they do then? Don't worry, I'll go there for 7 days at most. If I'm quick, I'll be back in 3 days. In addition, I have already made arrangements for this aspect. In the plan, I wrote a plan for how to deal with the enemy if Hanzo called. Uchiha Qiye said slowly, blame him for being so anxious. Result. As a result, he became a soul-like figure in the Shao organization, but if there were a few more think tanks in the Shao organization, he would not have to make such arrangements when he left. Good. 35. Then Master Zug has a good rest, and the Shao organization will be handed over to us. 35. Conan also said in a firm tone. Perhaps. This is also because she also wants to show the Zug advisor. Even if the Zug advisor is not there, they have the ability to control everything in the Shao organization. Very well, I like you, Conan. Remember, don't act impulsive. Remember what I told you? When dealing with the enemy, you must crush it with absolute strength. If you can't crush it, then you will beat the opponent in groups and attack the opponent, and if you can't beat it, you will run away. There's no need to confront each other head-on. Uchiha Qiye stretched out his hand and touched Conan's head. It was not bad, and it felt good, mainly because he touched the head of the richest woman in the ninja world. If this is left in the future, if he dares to treat the other party like this, it is estimated that the other party will directly kill him with a 600 billion detonating talisman. Yes. Conan also nodded heavily. Advertisement, of course, she is very clear about this. During this period of time, when they knew that the organization continued to collect from the marginal villages as their territory, the method used was not like this. Every 3 Jonin leads a team. In a team, there are 30 Genins. If nothing else, just this lineup, B-level tasks can be touched. However, this lineup is against. He is the garrison of each village, that is, the ninja of Rain Shinobi Village. When this team shot, the ninjas of Rain Shinobi Village were dumbfounded. Shameless. We can only have 3 ninjas at most. Some of the more remote locations are almost always stationed by Rain Shinobi Genin, and the slightly more powerful team is at most 3 Chunin. 18. You 3 Jonins and 30 Genins, hit FK. Rain Shinobi, who was caught alive, scolded almost all of them, which was so shameless, and even won them all without giving them a one-on-one chance. Of these arrested Rain Shinobi, naturally, not all of them are bad guys, and there are also some Rain Shinobi who are keeping their guard. About these peaceful Rain Shinobi, the Shao organization is usually arrested directly, brought back to Yuan village and detained. Because, if these people are released, then for their Shao organization, it is a crisis directly approaching. 3. After all, these people are all Hanzo people. Letting them go is tantamount to sending people directly to Hanzo's side, and telling Hanzo that we are the Akatsuki organization, and we are starting to attack the land of rain. Does Hanzo know that? Then don't call me directly? So, these people are being held at the base of their Shao organization. Same. The students of the Shao organization also need opponents, and even, not only the students of the Shao organization, but also the outer members of the Shao organization also need this group of opponents. Among Rain Shinobi, most Genin, there are also many Chunin. Just right. They can be used as opponents to train them with the actual combat experience of the students and the members of the outer sect. In actual combat, people often can quickly adapt to their own strength, and even break through their own strength in a very short period of time. This group of people successfully became the training object of their Shao organization. Every actual combat training was personally arranged by Uchiha Qiye, and he even arranged for his shadow clone to supervise himself. Advertisement just to prevent accidents, after all. These people are Rain Shinobi. Their current situation, and Rain Shinobi can be said to be enemies. Treat the enemy. Uchiha Qiye naturally has to be careful. Lest these people suddenly give him a set of shots and kill the students or members of his Shao organization, this is not a blood loss. The other party may still feel that they have made a profit. After all, no matter what, the other party is a prisoner. Killing one is worth it. But okay. Under the supervision of Uchiha Qiye, although these things happened, they were completely stopped by him, and they were all stared at under his eyes. If this happens, don't be ashamed of his super cage level. It is also because of the existence of these people, Rain Shinobi. It can be said that many of the Shao organization students have clear goals, their practical experience has improved too much, and the number of Shao organization students graduates has also increased rapidly. Among the first batch of graduates, they also made a successful breakthrough in actual combat, from Genin to Chunin. These people. Naturally, it was arranged to be a member of the inner door of the Shao organization. To this, these people are honored, and Uchiha Kai's exclusive office. He just got things set up for 2.9. Yahiko rushed in. Good news, good. Sorry for disturbing you. Yahiko just pushed open the door of Uchiha Kai's office and said loudly. It's obviously a good thing to see the expression on his face, and that's exactly what he said in his mouth. However, after he saw the two people in the office clearly, the smile on his face froze. Now, he could only twitch the corners of his mouth in embarrassment, try his best to show a smile, and then, trying to close the door of the office again, hurried away. It seems to have crashed the good things of Conan and the strategist. What to do? Yahiko. Too, this made his forehead sweat uncontrollably. Obviously, the weather in the land of rain has always been cold. He felt a lot of pressure. The eyes of Conan and the Zub military advisor were instantly fixed on each other. Chapter 167. What? Force me to pretend. 1. Subscribe. Come in, I'm just explaining some things to Conan, not what you think. Uchiha Qiye knew that the other party had misunderstood when he saw it like this, and he also explained to Yahiko. However, Yahiko also smiled after hearing that. I see. While talking, he winked at Uchiha Qiye, in this way. Let Uchiha Qiye have the urge to slap him directly. There is always a feeling that the other party is too flat. Don't you have good news, tell me, Uchiha Qiye asked. Sure, that's definitely good news, Nagato. What about the Nagato people? Yahiko said with a smile, then glanced behind him, no one was there. I am here. Nagato came out by the door. You boy, why are you hiding behind? 35. Yahiko stretched out his hand, put it on Nagato's shoulder, and pulled Nagato directly in from the door. The good news I'm talking about is him. Nagato broke through. 14. It's definitely good news, Yahiko said with a smile. The words fell, and both Uchiha Qiye and Conan also looked towards Nagato. The former directly sensed the other's chakra. A perception. Really? The opponent's chakra has indeed reached cage level. Even, there is another kind of breakthrough, the control of chakra is not as perfect as before, causing chakra to spill out a little. Nagato, that's great, Conan said proudly. In this way, the Zug military advisor can be relieved a little from carrying such a heavy burden. Yes, then I can go out with confidence, Uchiha Qiye also said with satisfaction. He originally planned to leave a shadow clone to sit here when he went to meet Orochimaru, mainly to protect the Shao organization, but now it seems should be no longer needed. Just in time, let him let go of the Akatsuki organization and let him see if Yahiko, Conan, and Nagato can be the leaders of the Akatsuki organization without him. Go out. Sergeant, where are you going? Yahiko asked a question subconsciously after hearing Uchiha Kai's words. Advertisement, I want to go out for a while, so during this time, the Shao organization will be fully entrusted to you. Uchiha Qiye directly admitted that he was going out. At the same time, he also showed his trust in Yahiko and others. Master, you can leave it to us, we will definitely take care of Shao's organization. Yahiko also said loudly. Undeniable. During this period of time, the existence of Zub military advisor has conquered everyone, and Yahiko is no exception, but he still has some melancholy. Because, anyway, Yahiko is the leader of the Akatsuki organization, but he has no sense of existence at all. In fact, he also wanted to show a little limelight. Now, Sergeant Zug was about to hand over the Shao organization to him completely, and he suddenly felt that he had been entrusted with a heavy responsibility, and even had a feeling that it was finally my turn to pretend. Very well, what you want is Yahiko's fighting spirit, 35. Uchiha Qiye said with a smile. How long are you going to be out, Sergeant? Nagato asked aside. Up to 7 days, you are now the strongest in the Akatsuki organization. If Hanzo strikes, you will have to rely more on you, the shadow. Uchiha Qiye said. I know. Nagato also nodded heavily and said seriously. During this period of time, strategist Zug has done so much for the Shao organization. This is the first time that the strategist Zug has completely handed over the Shao organization to them. How can they disappoint the strategist Zug? And Uchiha Qiye also completely handed over the Akatsuki organization to Yahiko and others after all things were settled. After 2 days of rest, the next day, he set off straight away. He set foot on the road to Konoha, the land of fire. Speaking of which, it can be said to be home, but he had to go to Orochimaru in a vest of Uzumaki reeds. After all, when he made a deal with Orochimaru, he was wearing this vest to make a deal with Orochimaru. From the country of rain to the country of fire Konoha, the distance is not too far. Certainly, this is just for the ninja's leg strength. The stronger the person, the faster the speed. Just like when Konoha F4 rescued the field, he rushed directly from Konoha to the battlefield. The distance was not short at all, but the strength of these people's feet was really fast. It only took a while to arrive. On the other hand, Uchiha Qiye is moving slowly towards the fire country. It's rare to take a break. In any case, there is no need to be so anxious, just take it slow. Guaranteed to meet Orochimaru in Konoha within 2 days, this is not enough. Advertisement then. Uchiha Qiye put on the vest of Uzumaki reeds and hurried on the road fast and slow. The reason why it was fast and slow, of course, it was halfway, and tasted the delicious food on the road. When he encounters a shop where he can rest, he will stop, buy some delicious food, and go on the road while eating. Certainly, these foods are good though, but compared to him, it is still a lot worse. However, he is not that picky, and the taste is good. And while he was walking slowly on the road, there were also ninjas following him. 760 Main Road. But not many people. Uchiha Qiye held the dumplings in his hand and ran while eating. I have to say, this thing is quite tasty. No wonder Uchiha Itachi likes to eat it in the future. He just likes sweets in general, not as much as he imagined. And this time, almost instantly, several figures emerged from the grass and surrounded him. Follow me all the way, now you're finally willing to come out? Uchiha Qiye swept over these ninjas with forehead protectors on their heads and said lightly. Along the way, after he used the vest of the Uzumaki reed. Soon, he sensed that someone was following him. Estimate. It's for the black market bounty. After all, Konoha offered him a large amount of money as a reward, and even if a large amount of money was shared equally by several people, he could live a good life for the rest of his life. He will be watched. Very reasonable, no way to go. Why are you forcing me to pretend? Why bother? He really doesn't want to pretend. Wouldn't it be better to leave as if you didn't see him? Do not seek death. But, this is not to give him a chance to pretend. There was nothing he could do, he had to send these people to Sage of Six Paths. Chapter 168. Uzumaki Reed is awesome. 1. Subscribe. Just grab it. Uzumaki Reed, how about you do stubborn resistance and let the brothers earn a little bit? A Sand Shinobi rebel looked at Uchiha Qiye and laughed. There is still a lot of difference between the living and the dead in the bounty on the black market. If possible, they still want to capture the opponent alive. After all, who can't get along with money? At least, they won't. Huh, good boy, pretending to force you to come to me, Uzumaki Reed. Uchiha Qiye sneered, and swept over the teams that were temporarily formed by the various village rebellion institutes to arrest him in disdain. If you can catch me, I'll eat 6,000 shits. Uchiha Qiye said coldly. These words shocked the people around them. Codes. They have been in the ninja world for many years, and this is the first time they have encountered such a snarky person. Go. Catch him and let him eat shit every day. Rebellion and forbearance also acted directly. For those who dare to brag in front of them, they have to slap each other in the face, for example, take them down and let this, Uzumaki Reed, eat shit. Then, several rebels immediately started. Wind style. Several people moved their hands, and in an instant, one by one was colorful, and some looked rough, and various ninjutsus were cast towards him. And, these people surrounded him. This shot, he became the only target in the center, and it was difficult to hide. But, to him, Uchiha Qiye, what kind of feather is this? Surround him. What a joke. It was him, Uchiha Qiye, who surrounded them all. Swish, almost instantly, he disappeared before the ninjutsu fell on him. The central position has disappeared, next moment. Purple thunderbolt blooms, accompanied by a thunderous sound. My backhand is an S-rank ninjutsu, I won't be beeping with you guys, 35. Uchiha Qiye, purple electric, with both hands, as soon as he made a shot, he immediately solved a Jonin-level betrayal. When he died, the Jonin-level betrayal looked at him with an incredible look in his eyes until the end of his life. Perhaps, in the opponent's heart, Uchiha Qiye was still surrounded by their group of Jonin-level, rebellious ninjutsu, and he was able to come to him unscathed. And kill him. This, advertisement in his view, it was too incredible. I'll tell you now, what is Uzumaki Reed? Uchiha Qiye didn't even look at the corpse of the Jonin-level rebellion he killed, but turned to look at the other Jonin-level rebels who were still alive, and shouted loudly. These Jonin-level rebels are also a little dumbfounded. Other side. How did they escape from it and kill one of them when they didn't react? I don't understand. Incredible, but the truth is in front of you. The opponent killed one of their teammates in such a dangerous situation. Cage level, he's cage level, someone exclaimed. Trash black market, what is the peak Jonin level, yard, cage level and Jonin, what a level, it's really been killed by the black market. A rock shinobi rebelled and cursed angrily, obviously because of the error in the intelligence, he was very unhappy. Don't be afraid, it's just a cage level, what's there to be afraid of? Some people also realized that the hearts of the team were a little loose and said quickly. Cage level, that's all. We have so many Jonin here, are we still afraid of each other's shadow? If we can't capture the opponent alive, then we will kill him today. In this way, we can make us more famous in the ninja world. Someone said loudly, this, really exciting, but... Puff. What gave you the idea that I, Uzumaki Reed, can be solved by you rubbish? Uchiha Qiye instantly appeared beside this person, and his hand, purple lightning, fell mercilessly. In an instant, this person didn't even have a chance to speak, and he died directly. This scene, it also deeply stimulated the other Jonin-level rebellions present. This is a Jonin class. This is the most important combat power in any village. Unlike the cage level, there are more ninjas at the Jonin level than at the cage level. So, in the village, the Jonin level ninja can be said to be the pillar-like existence in the village. This pillar, of course it wasn't made by one person. Rather, it is the pillar of the large number of Jonin in the village. Run! Someone shouted, turned around and ran. He realized that this person is not their enemy. By now, can only run away, or now, running away is their only way to survive. Advertisement, what a pity, it's late. 35 Uchiha Qiye looked at these Jonin-level rebels who turned and ran away with disdain. Run away. It does not exist with him. Homishu time acceleration 32 times. In his eyes, 1 Guyu, 2 Guyu, until the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan instantly appeared in his eyes, and he performed the pupil technique of the left eye. This time, it was different from the past. When he used Mangekyo Sharingan's pupil technique, the loss of pupil power would damage his Mangekyo Sharingan, causing his eyes to bleed. But this time, his eyes were different now. Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. How could an eye that has evolved to such a degree be injured because of this pupil technique? Same. Uchiha Qiye moved. Quick, this speed. It is no longer the speed that a ninja can achieve. Everything around him is very slow in his eyes. For the enemy, 1 second is 1 second, but at this moment, he has used time acceleration. 1 second. That's 32 seconds, and the speed of these people, in his eyes when he entered the state of time acceleration, is like slowing down 32 times. Kill these people. Why does it take 32 seconds? At least. To King Zhao's Uchiha Qiye is useless. Wind Thunder Body Flicker Technique, 35, Purple Electricity. Time Pupil Technique, combined with the A-level Fenglei Body Flicker Technique and the powerful attacking Purple Electricity. Within his 32 seconds, he also only spent 10 seconds. These people will be solved. Release. For the first time, Uchiha Qiye lifted the Pujutsu time acceleration, and once again concealed the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan and those who were attacked by him. A large amount of blood spurted out from the fatal wound he attacked on his body. What happened? All the Jonin-level rebels endured until their death with a puzzled look on their tails. Other side. Exactly how to do it. Why? They can't even see each other's attacks. Pity. This question, they have no chance to ask again. They could only be puzzled and went to see Sage of Six Paths in the Pure Land. Chapter 169. I pretend to be forced by me. The latecomer. 1. Subscribe. A group of trash fish, what qualifications are there to stand in front of my Uzumaki Reed? Uchiha Qiye looked at the corpses all over the floor with disdain. Since he really wanted to do something, he naturally couldn't let anyone go. Besides, he used the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, then these people should die. At the same time, the familiar system prompt sounded in his ears. Ding! Host successfully pretended to force point plus 6666. Ding! The loading point is automatically allocated, the superior sage body plus 3333, a level Fenglei body flicker technique plus 3333, 35. Ding! Superior sage body, 10,182 tenths.0000, not yet full of experience, please try to pretend to be a host and upgrade your abilities. Ding! A level Fenglei body flicker technique, 71,972 tenths.0000. The experience is not full, please host hard to pretend to upgrade the ability. 6,699. Although it was said that these people tried to exchange him for a reward, the strength of these people was not weak, and they were all at the level of Jonin. The reason for being killed, and just because, Uchiha Qiye, too strong. But it also gave him a lot of pretense, it also upgraded his skill distance, making him a little closer. 760. After a simple cleanup, he continued to go in the direction of Konoha village. A corpse was left behind, and not long after he left. Some people with forehead protectors on their heads appeared in this place. Them. Obviously not the same group as those who besieged Uchiha Qiye earlier. But they are all wearing the forehead protector. It can be seen that these people may not have anything to do, but their goals should be similar. For the bounty of Uzumaki reed in the black market. However, after arriving here, see the corpses here. They were silent. Advertisement, this is Izuru Shahibian, Liang Yangzi, Zhangchang Jiando. These people who came later, some people recognized the identity of these rebels who were killed by Uchiha Qiye. Every time he mentioned a name, his scalp felt numb. Because, the people he mentioned were quite famous in the black market. Moreover, these people are all Jonin-level rebels. And, just like that, died here. Anyone who sees this scene will think, outrageous. This is not 1-2, BECJ, Jonin, but 9 Jonin. Just this lineup. Ordinary cage level can be assassinated. Can be biased. All these people died in this place. Isn't their target Uzumaki reed? Why? Someone said halfway through, and he himself stopped. Yes, the other party's target was Uzumaki reed, and they all died here. Who did it? This shouldn't the results already be obvious? Uzumaki reeds. Is it possible? 35 The captain in this group also looked at the corpse in this place, and after a long silence, he asked himself. But, this fact is very obvious. All they knew was that the Uzumaki reeds passed this way, but unfortunately they arrived late, and they saw corpses all over the floor. These are 9 Jonins. He died here like this, and the one who killed the 9 Jonin was probably the Uzumaki reed. It can only be that there is an old cage level who happened to pass by here, and then kill all these rebels. In this case, that was outrageous. This probability is no less than the probability of going to the toilet and falling into the cesspool. No way, Uzumaki reed is a cage level. If that's the case, then the intelligence on the black market is outrageously wrong. Then do we have to catch up? 66.99 This situation caused these people to discuss immediately. Advertisement, especially when it comes to whether or not to chase the Uzumaki reed ahead of them, their discussions are almost indistinguishable. Perhaps, if these rebellions were not killed by Uzumaki reed. If they don't catch up, wouldn't they miss out on hundreds of millions of bounties? AJ. If these people were killed by the Uzumaki reed, then they chased after them, which could undoubtedly be said to be courting death. After all, their team of ninjas are much weaker than the team of rebel ninjas, who fell to the ground and were already cold. This group of people is cold. If Uzumaki reed is really cage level, then if they catch up, they will definitely die. Stop chasing, put away the bodies of these people. We won't be able to get the bounty of Uzumaki reed. These betrayals should be our compensation. After observing the corpses, the team leader finally took a deep breath and said, if we turned back halfway like this, if we let our colleagues know, they would be ridiculed by them. People who agreed to go after Uzumaki reed heard the words of captain and wanted to express their attitude. But halfway through the conversation, he was interrupted. Enough. The captain had a dark face and said coldly, if you want to die, I will not stop you, but before you go, I advise you to take a good look at the wounds of these corpses, as well as the direction of the fall and the distance. His words fell clearly in the ears of these people. This made everyone listen to it and look at the corpse in this place. A long time. Finally someone saw some details. These people, in the direction they fell to the ground, are some. Strange? Except for the 2, the others seemed to have fled after seeing the monster. Someone said slowly, that's right, that's it. Except for the 2 people who fell the fastest, everyone else was killed on the way to escape. The team, captain said slowly. Think about it, they are rebellious and forbearing. We people who have been in the black market for so many years know that they won't waste time on irrelevant people. How can they not know? Not to mention who they surrounded, but the people they surrounded at the beginning, they were very confident that they had the strength to solve the opponent, so they surrounded the opponent, and also launched ninjutsu. 99. But the location of the 2 corpses proved that the other party was not weak, and even killed the 2 of them, which made the others realize that the other party's strength was far superior to them, so they began to run away. As far as I know, in the black market, the description of Uzumaki reeds is a peak Jonin class. If they are surrounded by Uzumaki reeds, then this scene is very reasonable. 9. The squad, captain said slowly. His words fell into the ears of other people. Although he didn't say it in detail, none of the people present were fools. They were the first to be confident because they had full confidence in the target, but later they were frightened by the true strength of the target and ran away. This, the most likely candidate is Uzumaki reed, chapter 170. What, can you pretend like this? Extrajudicial fanatics are coming. 1. Subscribe. And where you see these people falling to the ground and the distance from the encirclement. The squad, captain continued to remind. Everyone also looked at it. Subsequently, found clues. The positions of these people falling to the ground are all in different directions, and they are all escaping in all directions, and the distance to the ground is strange. Why is the distance between each corpse and the encirclement not so far? The direction in which these corpses fell, and the distance they fell to the ground made them, the discoverers, feel a little strange. If it were you, would you use the body flicker technique when running away? The squad, captain asked. It's not for sure. You don't need body flicker technique to escape. It's not the same as when you're on the battlefield. What's wrong with chakra? Someone couldn't help laughing and said. But the words were only halfway through, and his voice became smaller and smaller until he stopped. Yes. Will this group of people run away without using the body flicker technique? That is impossible. But why are these people ready to run away, and even have run away? It must have used the body flicker technique. but why are these people so close to the encirclement? This is unreasonable. People who have studied ninjutsu basically know the speed of body flicker technique. Although the body flicker technique is only the lowest D-level ninjutsu, but with each person's use method and strength, the effect will naturally be different. But, one way or another, when it is used, even if it is 10 seconds, there is no problem in running a distance of hundreds of meters. But why did these people fall to the ground? The farthest from the encirclement was less than 30 meters. Everyone listens. Also understand this. Impossible. When the 7 Jonin escaped, they were killed by the target in an instant. This is what cage level can do? 35. Someone laughed dryly and said, he couldn't believe it at all. Even if Hanzo was pulled over, he would not dare to say that he would be able to eliminate all the 7 fleeing Jonins in 2 or 3 seconds. I don't know either, but one thing is certain, this is definitely not someone we can provoke, and we won't do it. The bodies of these people are compensation for us. After cleaning up, we will go back. 95. Advertisement. The squad captain said, he has become a rebel for so many years, and he can live not because of how strong he is, but because he is very cautious, otherwise he would have died long ago. Gone. The rubbish black market. What kind of rubbish information is given, and it is still at the peak of Jonin level with this strength? Hey, let those idiots in the black market go to death themselves. The people of Konoha are all idiots, these people also said unhappily. However, none of them said anything about going after the Uzumaki Reed. Because this is probably not an opponent they can provoke, so they are not willing to die. The other side. On the way back to Konoha village, Uchiha Qiye suddenly heard a beep from the system. Ding! Host successfully pretended to force point plus 1999. Ding! The force point is automatically allocated, the superior sage body plus 1000, the B-level strange power plus 999, 35. Ding! Superior sage body, 11,182 tenths.0000. The experience is not full, please try hard to pretend to be the host to upgrade the ability. Ding! B-level strange power, 1,554 ten thousandths. The experience is not full, please try hard to pretend to be the host and let the ability level up. 66.99. This sudden sound made monk Uchiha Qiye puzzled. Codes. What's with this beeping sound? Did he do something to pretend again? Think of it this way. Uchiha Qiye also sensed the surrounding situation, but there was no one around. Then, why did he get the pretense point again? Could it be? With his handsome face, he pretended to force the surrounding flowers and trees? This is also unlikely. If so, when the system is turned on, this kind of prompt sound should keep ringing. After all, he is very confident in his handsome face. Advertisement. For flowers. After observing the surroundings and checking it several times, in the end, he still had no results. After thinking about it, he decided not to think about it anymore. Just when there is a problem with the system, he earns 1999 pretending points for nothing. And what he didn't know was, this wave of his pretending was just because he killed the first batch of Jonin level rebels who tried to arrest him for a bounty on the black market. Then it was seen by the second batch of Jonin level rebels who tried to kill him in exchange for a bounty. Result, some inference, shocked by his strength. If Uchiha Qiye knew, it is estimated that his whole person would be split. After all, he had never seen such a coercive way. Zero. That's right, it's outrageous. Konoha village. After a few months, Uchiha Qiye is back again, but this time he came back not as Uchiha Qiye, but as Uzumaki Reed. He came for impure world reincarnation and for celestial arts. These two things are what he must get, so here he is. Hello, I'm from the Kingdom of Iron, my name is John San. Uchiha Qiye transformed into a different appearance with the transformation technique. Then, he took out the identity he had obtained from the black market early, and went to Konoha's door god to go through the formalities for entering the village. Certainly, at this moment, Konoha's door god is not the future too. But, after the two of them glanced at him, they quickly went through the formalities for him to enter the village. There are no obstacles in this process. In this way, he entered the Konoha village under the name of John San. No one could have imagined. This person named John San, Konoha personally issued a reward in the black market, and Konoha is also a well-known S-class reward criminal, but he entered the Konoha shinobi village with such a swagger. It can be said that it is an extrajudicial fanatic. Chapter 171. The 5 Anbu Jonin that Sarutobi Hiruzen placed beside Orochimaru. Open black lens bracket 1 close black lens bracket open black lens bracket subscribe close black lens bracket. Let's determine Orochimaru's location first. Entering Konoha village, Uchiha Qiye immediately chose to go to confirm the location of Orochimaru and then talk there. Certainly, this is mainly to set up a meeting time with the other party. Otherwise, meet in broad daylight, the ghost knows if there is anything else. This kind of secret meeting, it is better to keep a little secret. Uchiha Qiye released chakra perception. Soon, he sensed the familiar chakra of Orochimaru. When he saved the opponent that time, he wrote down the opponent's chakra, which is why he was able to find Orochimaru so quickly. In a lonely alley, Orochimaru was walking alone. 760s. On his face frowned, as if something was bothering him. That person, why hasn't he come yet? 5 Orochimaru thought to himself. What he was worried about was why the Uzumaki Reed had not come to him after 2 days of appointment. Of course, he also guessed that the other party might not come due to various reasons. But, he paid more attention to this meeting than Uzumaki read. Because, what he cares about is the detached strength of the other party. He wanted to know how the other party achieved that age and possessed such a powerful strength. Anyone. The desire for strength is certain. Orochimaru is no exception. Although he already has the power to yearn for immortality, but after seeing the real strength, he also wants to obtain immortality and at the same time want to obtain powerful strength. Just like he was instantly killed by Uchiha Itachi in the future, and then he was thinking of Sharingan. So, he attached great importance to this opportunity to meet each other. Advertisement. The other party didn't even move at all. Apparently late. It made him feel a super cage level powerhouse, even after making an appointment, was late. And this time, boom, suddenly, Orochimaru hit a person while turning. In front of him, a man with short black hair was knocked to the ground. Because of the collision just now, the money in the opponent's pocket was also knocked out because of him, and the floor was covered with paper money and coins. Seeing this scene, Orochimaru also bowed down to help the other party pick up the money. After squatting down, he heard a very thin voice ringing in his ear. Orochimaru, I came as promised, remember our agreement. Don't get excited, there are 5 Anbu around here. If they find out that there is something unusual about you, then I'll be in trouble. I don't want to spend a lot of money making trouble in your Konoha village. Uchiha Qiye said quickly. Their conversation was only between the two of them, and only the two of them could hear it. Because, when Uchiha Qiye communicated with the other party, he used chakra. The voice was very thin, but it could be accurately transmitted to Orochimaru's ears. Compared to Reed-kun, he is really amazing, and he approached me in such a way, and his acting is good. Orochimaru said. He really didn't expect that the person who hurriedly picked up the money after being knocked down by him was actually Uzumaki Reed, and his acting skills were really simple. It's not so much about my acting skills as to say that Orochimaru has so many Anbu around you staring at you, that's the problem. 39. Uchiha Qiye responded. The 5 Jonin Anbu are staring at Orochimaru. This is Hokage's disciple. This Anbu is also Hokage's direct Anbu. Does this mean that Hokage is sending people to stare at his own disciple? What is this for? Are you afraid that your disciples will fail to rebel? This situation made Uchiha Qiye very interesting. It was so interesting, it was the first time he had seen such an operation. Sarutobi Hiruzen is really good at playing advertisement. Haha. It's not what happened last time in Cloud Shinobi Village, but I was put in the prison of Cloud Shinobi Village and rescued by you. Teacher, he got the news, so after my injury was healed, I went to prison. The man who sent Anbu was staring at me. Orochimaru said. It seems that they are still coming at me, so I have to be careful this time, otherwise if it is exposed, then I really have to cut Sarutobi directly. Uchiha Qiye Kaido, Sarutobi Hiruzen, feel sorry. Now he is still afraid of the other party's failure? What if the opponent is chopped down? The big deal is that he returns as the deity and directly supports a person to ascend to the top. Is it possible that there is someone stronger than him in Konoha village? In this powerful world, now that Senju Hashirama has passed away, his strength means the strongest. Uchiha Madara's perfect body Susanoo can cut down several mountains with one knife, but Uchiha Kai's perfect body Susanoo can't do it. If you don't want to be exposed, who can find you? Orochimaru said. He was telling the truth. Right now, the pair of the other party is obviously transformed by the transformation technique, but he can't see any trace of the transformation technique. It's like, the other party looks like this. On this transformation technique attainments, Uzumaki Reed doesn't want to reveal, who can find out that the other party has come to Konoha village. No more nonsense, see you at 12 o'clock tonight in the grove behind Hokage Rock. Remember to get rid of these dogs watching you, Uchiha Qiye said. At the same time, at 2.9, he also picked up all the money that fell on the ground. Thanks. With the appearance of Jong-san, he thanked Orochimaru who helped him. He also wanted to understand how the other party reached super cage level at such a young age. Simply put, he wanted to learn how to become stronger from the mouth of Uzumaki Reed. Coming. You're welcome. How could he not be happy? The other party came. He handed the money he helped pick up to the Jong-san in front of him. No one noticed. His eyes, looking at Uchiha Qiye, were fiery. To meet tonight, this is not just such a simple transaction between him and the other party. Orochimaru nodded and said, Chapter 172. But, I refuse. 1. Subscribe. Midnight. The woods behind Konoha Hokage Rock. Uchiha Qiye had been waiting here early on. And this time, a rustling sounded. The figure of Orochimaru appeared in his eyes. Orochimaru, you made me wait. Uchiha Qiye looked at the time. It had been a long time since 12 o'clock, and the other party had just arrived, so it could be said that he was late. It's going to be a bit of a hassle trying to meet you without disturbing those who watch my Anbu. 99. Orochimaru smiled and said, although he is cage level, it is very difficult to quietly come out to meet the Uzumaki Reed, without disturbing these people. If it was another way to kill these Jonin Anbu, it would be very simple for him. Pity. And cannot do so, because, if you move these people, the consequences will be very troublesome. What do I want? 14 Uchiha Qiye asked directly. This is the scroll of impure world reincarnation. Unfortunately, second Hokage's research on this ninjutsu is not complete. 35. Orochimaru threw a scroll to Uchiha Qiye, who reached out and caught it. Incomplete is better than nothing, 35 Uchiha Qiye said with a smile. How does the other party know that ninjutsu is with him? In fact, as long as he can learn ninjutsu, the other things are not that important. After all, as long as he can learn this ninjutsu, it will be turned into a skill. At that time, he only needs to use the force to obtain the force point to level up. Didn't you see the huge change in his D-level body flicker technique after being upgraded to a level? This is the magic of the system. Impure World Reincarnation, of course, will be no exception. When he keeps improving the Impure World Reincarnation's level, Impure World Reincarnation's incompleteness will become complete with the leveling up, even beyond the boundaries of Impure World Reincarnation. How about making a deal? 35 Orochimaru said with a smile on his face. Trade? Advertisement? Orochimaru, do you think there is anything you can do with me now? Uchiha Qiye, holding the scroll of Impure World Reincarnation in his hand, tossed it in the air, and at the same time, asked Orochimaru. To perfect the flawed Impure World Reincarnation. Orochimaru said confidently, he has the ability to perfect the forbidden technique of Impure World Reincarnation. This is his bargaining chip with Uzumaki Reed. Sounds good, but unfortunately, I refuse, Uchiha Qiye said with a smile. Of course, he knew that Orochimaru had the ability to completely perfect the forbidden technique of Impure World Reincarnation, but it was not important to him at all. As long as he learned Impure World Reincarnation, he could improve it with the upgrade. Why do you need Orochimaru to perfect it? Isn't that a waste of his time? It doesn't make any sense at all. What? Orochimaru's confident look just collapsed, the whole paragraph collapsed. You heard right, the other party doesn't need him to perfect the forbidden technique of Impure World Reincarnation? Could it be that the other party is not inferior in the field of ninjutsu research? So I don't need to improve reanimation jutsu? Orochimaru felt that things were unexpected. Originally, he wants to make a deal with the other party, and the only bargaining chip he can think of is to use the perfect reanimation jutsu as a bargaining chip to reach a new deal. But now the other party doesn't need it, then his only bargaining chip was completely useless. However, if you want to make a heart-to-heart deal with me, I don't mind making a new deal with you. Uchiha Kai's words have turned a corner. The other party is the #1 scientist in the ninja world. In the future, the achievement of clone has been completed. Just this. He doesn't mind continuing to complete deals with the other party. What does clone mean? Means Sharingan. As long as the people of the Uchiha clan who have opened the Mangekyo Sharingan, there are only two ways to make their eyes blind. One is perfectly transplanted Hashirama cells, just like Uchiha Obito. And another. Advertisement: the Mangekyo Sharingan of others is transplanted, and the closer the blood is, the higher the chance of successful transplantation. Just as Uchiha Madara transplanted his brother Uchiha Izuna's Mangekyo Sharingan, or Uchiha Sasuke transplanted Uchiha Itachi's Mangekyo Sharingan. After all, the blood relationship between the brothers is too close. But, if the Mangekyo Sharingan could be cloned with the help of Orochimaru, then the Uchiha family would really not have to worry about the problem of blindness after opening the Mangekyo Sharingan. Beyond that, there are Hashirama cells, this thing. Orochimaru is also very researched. As for the transplant of Hashirama cells, he himself can't say. Because, the way he transplanted was so outrageous. Wherever someone else does it, unspecified, really hung up. So, he 760 wants to follow Orochimaru's hand and develop a method to perfectly transplant Hashirama cells. This is also the reason why he suddenly wants to continue trading with the other party. It seems that in your eyes, I still have value. Orochimaru smiled. He doesn't mind being used by the other party. After all, he is in a weak position. Even if he is used by the other party, as long as he gets what he wants, it is enough. Of course, in my eyes, your value is much higher than that old Sarutobi Hiruzen, 99. Uchiha Qiye laughed. There is no doubt about this, the same thing developed by the other party in the future is the top technology in the ninja world. And the Orochimaru created by these top technologies is the most valuable. Then what do you want from me? That's good, it seems that the transaction between us can start again. Since the other party wants to deal with him, it must be that he has something the other party needs to make the other party want to deal with him again. Uchiha Qiye looked at Orochimaru and said, that's natural. The value of Orochimaru is too high, Orochimaru said. Chapter 173. Orochimaru, that person, you can't afford it. 1. Subscribe. To become stronger, I want to become stronger, Orochimaru said. What he cares about now is strength. Since the other party has reached the super cage level at such a young age, he does not think that the other party can only break through the super cage level because of his super talent. There must be other means. If there is not, the big deal is the cancellation of the deal. So it is. 99 Uchiha Qiye looked at each other and understood. From the moment the other party opened his mouth, he understood. Maybe it was the last time that made the other party feel his weakness, so he had the mentality of wanting to become stronger. But it's a pity, there is really no way for him to directly become stronger. He is not an immortal. If a mortal touches my top, he will not be able to show off his hair under the manipulation of longevity. But, if you want to become stronger, other means can still be done. There are ways to get stronger, but not in the way you think. Uchiha Qiye said slowly. Also, Orochimaru thought for a moment and nodded. Not as he imagined. That's actually okay. As long as he can become stronger, Orochimaru has nothing to bear. There are many ways to get stronger: transplant Hashirama cells, or transplant a pair of Mangekyo Sharingan, or you can get Tenseigan if you have that ability. Uchiha Qiye said. This is his method. In the ninja world, there are too few ways to improve one's strength. Most of them rely on external objects. Either it is the blood following the limit, or it is the pupil technique or the like. It can be said that it is inseparable from its originality. Hashirama cells? Is that why you traded with Tsunade? Orochimaru's eyes lit up. At Cloud Shinobi Village, the guy named Otsutsuki Hokugan with wood style left a deep impression on him. That wood style is in the opponent's hand, making it like an arm. Advertisement: if the opponent does not have wood style. Then he escaped, it shouldn't be a problem, but now. Uzumaki Reed actually told himself that Hashirama cells could be transplanted, and he immediately thought of the wood style of first Hokage Senju Hashirama. That is the wood style that pacifies the world. Since the passing of first Hokage, it has not been seen again until the appearance of Otsutsuki Hokugan. Transplantation of Hashirama cells is risky. Unbearable bodies will collapse and die. There are not many people who can successfully transplant wood styles. 35. Uchiha Qiye said. You mean, Otsutsuki Hokugan's wood style was obtained by transplanting Hashirama cells? Orochimaru immediately associated Uchiha Kai's words with the man who defeated him. Of course not. Uchiha Qiye shook his head and said. Otsutsuki Hokugan's wood style is not transplanted, but awakened by his own blood. Uchiha Qiye said. How could he have cleaned up one of his vests? Of course, he had to give the Otsutsuki Beishuen a cover a dozen times. Anyway, if Orochimaru believed his words, it would be good. Then who was the person who successfully transplanted Hashirama cells in your mouth? Orochimaru narrowed his eyes and asked. He wanted to know who, and if he could, from the other side, got the method of how to successfully transplant Hashirama cells. Why, do you want to rob? Uchiha Qiye raised his brows and said. How come? I just want to communicate with this person. Orochimaru laughed. Unfortunately, even if this person is old, it's not something you can afford to offend. Uchiha Qiye shook his head and said, Who is that? Orochimaru asked. Can't he offend? He's a cage level anyway. In this ninja world, there are only a handful of top powerhouses, and he doesn't believe it. If a person appears, he will not be able to offend Orochimaru. Uchiha Madara, do you dare define him? Uchiha Qiye laughed. Not to mention that Uchiha Madara is now afraid that his eyes have been transplanted to Nagato's body for the plan, and he is still too old, but he doesn't want to touch this old thing. Advertisement because. Who knows what cards the old Uchiha Madara will have in his hand. The old man is desperate, maybe he will drag you along with him. So, even if he knew about Uchiha Madara's plan, he didn't want to go to Uchiha Madara to play. Unless, his strength is far above the opponent. What? 35. Orochimaru was taken aback by the words, Uzumaki Reed. Uchiha Madara. Why don't you just say Sage of Six Paths? According to records, Uchiha Madara died long ago in the hands of first Hokage Senju Hashirama. You are telling me now that the other party is still alive and has Hashirama cells transplanted? Are you trying to play me? Uchiha Madara didn't die in that battle. The records you see are just appearances. Uchiha Qiye saw the stunned expression on Orochimaru's face. He knew what the other party was thinking, and he also told the other party. You mean he faked death? When Orochimaru heard the words of Uzumaki Reed, he quickly understood what the other party said. You're smart. Uchiha Qiye continued. The forbidden technique of the Uchiha family, Izanagi, can transform the damage and all unfavorable factors, including death, of the caster into a dream within the time Izanagi activates, and at the same time the caster it is an art that can freely convert between dreams and reality, and it belongs to illusion. This trick, in the future, Danzo will be used as a different resurrection currency. However, but even one, King Zhao's, 2 pillars did not cost anything. It can be said that this is completely abandoned. When pursuing strength, he has completely forgotten his own strength, and only knows that blindly pursuing strength will only become a waste in the end. Otherwise, Danzo alone is enough to blow off Susanoo's wind style. As long as he continues to improve, with wood style and Sharingan as the support, he will definitely become one of the top powerhouses in the ninja world. Pity. His head was hit by a cannon, and he kept going after Sharingan. This is terrible ninjutsu. There was a hint of interest in Orochimaru's eyes. I advise you not to do stupid things. Besides, after using this thing, Sharingan will lose its light forever. Moreover, if you try to provoke it, you will be hunted down by the genius of the Uchiha family. Don't seek shelter from me then. Uchiha Qiye looked at Orochimaru and said coldly. Chapter 174. I praise myself, it's awesome. 1. Subscribe. The genius of the Uchiha clan. You mean Uchiha Qiye? He's just a cage level, you're afraid of him? Orochimaru was stunned after hearing this and said. Hey. You guys are really blind if you can't see his true strength. That Uchiha genius who looks as handsome as me, his strength is super cage level. Uchiha Qiye sneered and said. Even though this kind of behavior is a kind of self-praise, but, sorry, he is such a shameless person. Yes. Uchiha Qiye is very handsome as Uzumaki Reed. Super cage level. Impossible. A child who is only nearly 6 years old has super cage level strength? Do you think I will believe it? Sage of Six Paths would not dare to say that? Orochimaru felt outrageous. You want to say that the true strength of Otsutsuki Beishuan in Cloud Shinobi Village is Super Cage level. I believe it, but you said that Uchiha Qiye, who is just about to turn 6 years old, is already Super Cage level? Are you sure you're not kidding me? If you don't believe me, you can try it yourself. Find him, provoke him, and you'll be done if he cuts him or not. Uchiha Qiye raised his eyebrows and said, the reason why he said this is mainly to prevent the other party from arresting his Uchiha clan and detaining Sharingan for testing. After all, he is one of the 760 members of the Uchiha clan. A nearly 6-year-old child has Super Cage level strength, and his immature body can keep up? Orochimaru has some beliefs about the words of Uzumaki Reed, but after some beliefs in his heart, some problems arise. Body. It can be said to be the container that carries chakra. The body of a nearly 6-year-old child has a super movie level chakra. It was like using a 2L Coke bottle and filling a swimming pool with water. The only result was that the Coke bottle was directly burst. This is also the reason why he didn't believe it at first. But the words of Uzumaki Reed gave him a trace of belief. Therefore, he raised such doubts. Orochimaru, you must know that there are some people in this world that cannot be explained by common sense, and such people are called geniuses. Uchiha Qiye said earnestly. What Orochimaru said is indeed correct. The strength of physical fitness determines the upper limit of chakra in the body. This is right. Some people are too young, and as time reaches adulthood, chakra will slowly increase a lot. As for why he is so arrogant, does this even need to be said? Of course it's because he's a ******** advertisement. The system hung up on him, nearly 6 years old and surpassing cage level? Shouldn't this be a basic operation for traversers? Genius. 39 Orochimaru murmured. Suddenly, he just found the word very unfamiliar. He used to be a genius. Otherwise, just relying on him, can I become a disciple of 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen? But, take a look now. He only compared with Uchiha Qiye this day, it's nothing. In front of the opponent, he is just an ordinary person. Then, Uchiha Qiye threw the scroll containing Hashirama cells to Orochimaru, who also reached out and caught it. This is, Orochimaru held the scroll with a puzzled look on his face. Hashirama cells. You don't want to get stronger, 35. Then this should also be the content of the transaction. But after your research is successful, you must give me the perfect method to transplant Hashirama cells. Uchiha Qiye said slowly. Although he has been on the road of pretending, he doesn't care about the Uchiha clan, but no matter what, he is a member of the Uchiha clan, and the Uchiha clan treats him very well. So, he felt that if he had that ability, he could help the Uchiha clan to do something. Just like the perfect way to transplant Hashirama cells. If the family has other Mangekyo Sharingan openers, BECJ, then one of the difficulties the other party will face is the blindness of the Mangekyo Sharingan. But if the Hashirama cells can be transplanted perfectly, then, even if the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan is not considered, there is no need to worry about the blindness of the Mangekyo Sharingan. Advertisement, is this what you want? Orochimaru smiled. Hashirama cells, this thing, for him now, if he really wants to get it, it will be very difficult. After all, he is also in the future. After the high-level Konoha started a plan to reproduce wood-style failed, he cooperated with Danzo from the shadows, got Hashirama cells, and started research. And now him. As soon as the news reached Sarutobi Hiruzen that he had been rescued from the prison in Cloud Shinobi Village by Uzumaki Reed, many Anbu were watching him around him. Visible Sarutobi Hiruzen on his alert. So, Hashirama cells, even if he learned from the mouth of Uzumaki Reed, that if this thing is perfectly transplanted, it can improve his strength, and even obtain wood style. But, want to get this thing, no objection to the sky. After all, what happened to the Uzumaki Reed made the entire Konoha high level extremely nervous, and even increased the level of defense of Senju Hashirama's body several times. If he really wants to get it, that would definitely reveal the identity. The only consequence is exposure, and then, either imprisoned or defected, there are 2 ways to go. The Uzumaki Reed gave him this, and he was really relieved. Otherwise, he was just preparing the question of how to get Hashirama cells. Orochimaru, I hate people who are stingy with life, so, if you want to experiment, it's best to use death row prisoners. If you let me know that you use ordinary people to transplant Hashirama cells, then you can run away in advance. Chance. You'll see if I can find you, Uchiha Qiye said slowly. He killed a lot of people. After listening to Orochimaru, he laughed. Unexpectedly, the S-level wanted criminal who got on their Konoha. Actually, there is such a code of conduct, which is really beyond his expectations. He didn't want to do experiments with babies after promoting Orochimaru's research on Hashirama cells himself. If the other party dared to do this, he would have cut down Orochimaru and then used impure world reincarnation to make the other party his puppet and conduct research on the transplantation of Hashirama cells under his nose. The people he killed were either guilty, then ninjas. But, unexpectedly, the S-class wanted criminal is still a good person. Chapter 175. It's just a test, why don't you just lift the table? 1. Subscribe. I've always been a good person, Uchiha Qiye laughed. It goes without saying that he has always been a handsome and good man, there is no doubt about it, otherwise, the endless Warblade warns. Let's go, I don't have much time to come out, if they find out, it will be troublesome. Orochimaru said. He used some methods to escape these Anbu's eyes and sneaked out to meet Uchiha Qiye, but he didn't think his little tricks could fool these Anbu for a day. Sage mode, I've been looking forward to it for a long time. Uchiha Qiye said, in the three immortal lands, there are immortal arts. Otherwise, why did places like Mount Myoboku, Ryuchi Cave, and Shibone Forest survive for thousands of years? Especially the toad of Mount Myoboku that lived from the Sage of Six Paths period to the present. The reason why the other party can live for so long is definitely not because of the other party's genetic mutation, and then it lived so long. The reason must have something to do with fairy magic. I don't know, if I learn the immortal techniques and continue to upgrade, whether I can turn immortal techniques into an existence like an immortal cultivation technique. Uchiha Qiye secretly thought in his heart, he is a H**********. Therefore, he also hopes that he can use this hang on his body to help him transform Sage mode into a brand new existence after constantly upgrading. If that's the case, he has another means of longevity in his hands. Reverse summoning technique. Orochimaru let Uzumaki Reed grab his shoulders, then, performing a modified summoning technique, in an instant, he and Uzumaki Reed disappeared behind the Hokage rock. Ryuchi Cave. Both Uchiha Qiye and Orochimaru came. Look, it's pretty gloomy. After coming, Uchiha Qiye also looked around and said, as expected of the place where the snake was born, looking at it makes people feel a little uncomfortable. But he is for the magic. Forbearance is. Otherwise, he would directly display the full-body Susanoo, lift the endless warblade, and split the broken place directly. Go in that direction, and you will meet the test. After passing the test, you will be able to meet the White Snake Immortal. 35. Orochimaru pointed in one direction. Dao. He has come here more than once, and naturally he is very clear. Okay, go back. Advertisement. Uchiha Qiye waved his hand indifferently and said, the function of the tool snake has been used up, and then, the other party has no need for that. Let's go. Go quickly. Uzumaki-kun, good luck. 99. Orochimaru. I smiled, showing a smile like a villain, and then, under Uchiha Kai's eyelids, I left. He didn't want to stay here any longer, after all. Near his house, but 5 Jonin Anbu were staring at him. This time, he used a small trick to sneak out without being discovered by these people. He's also not sure how long the Uzumaki Reed will be here. But he knows. You definitely don't have as much time as the other person. So, he has to go back quickly. In this way, it will not be discovered by those Anbu. Sage mode. Uchiha Qiye smiled, then walked in the direction Orochimaru pointed. Ryuchi Cave is definitely not a good place, at least. This is true for Uchiha Qiye, walked a long distance. Here he is. This is the first test at Ryuchi Cave. Turn an empty land into a castle of Ryuchi Cave, and there is a lot of food in it, so as to confuse the people who come to practice. As long as they eat the changed food, then the opponent's body and chakra will be eaten. This is a test made by several elder-level characters around the White Snake Immortal. Yo, he also came with me. Uchiha Qiye both laughed. Just this food? Could it be that he is looking down on him? Uchiha Qiye. It doesn't even emit light. How dare you show it to confuse practitioners to eat it? Feel sorry. Advertisement. Learn more about cooking. Oh no, you're just bartering food. Katakana middle. Seeking flowers. Not really. I won't say more nonsense, just give it to me. I'm here to learn immortal arts today, not to play this boring test with you. Otherwise, you can try me today. Can I see if I can do it? I leveled Ryuchi Cave, one of your 3 immortal lands. Uchiha Qiye directly opened his own eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, and the super cage level powerful chakra erupted from him. Followed. A real chakra overflowed from him. In a very short period of time, a complete Susanoo was formed, and the golden Susanoo of 200 meters rose from the ground. This height made Uchiha Qiye look down on the place. Illusion? In front of my eyes you play tricks? Play FK? Human. What do you want to do? The 3 high rises of Ryuchi Cave came out in an instant. They are also in a hurry. Codes. Just to test you, you are really unruly, right? I test FK. They wished Uchiha Qiye to blurt out all the swear words they had learned since their lives and greeted each other happily. That kind of low-level test is for the weak, and for the strong like me. You are also worthy of testing me. Uchiha Qiye looked at the 3 Ryuchi Cave elder-level figures coldly and said coldly. Although these people disguised themselves as human beings. It looks good, but sorry, he is not Shushion. Therefore, he has no interest in snakes. No matter how you look, if I, Uchiha Qiye, are not happy, I will slash you with a knife. Trials are rules for screening those who enter Ryuchi Cave, and you are no exception. Tienz and Shenji said loudly. But, looking at Susanoo, who is 200 meters tall, she felt a little urge to follow her heart. They are indeed the elders of Ryuchi Cave, with extremely powerful chakra, but that doesn't mean they're invincible. This person in front of you, obviously it's beyond the range they can deal with. Chapter 176. Nearly 100,000 pretending point income. 1. Subscribe. Ding. Host successfully pretended to force point plus 99999. Ding. The loading point is automatically allocated. The superior sage body plus 33333, the A-level Fenglei body flicker technique plus 33333, and the B-level strange force plus 33333. Ding. Senior sage body, 44,515 tenths .0000. The experience is not full. Please try to pretend to be the host and upgrade the ability. Ding. A level Fenglei body flicker technique, 10.5305, 10.0000. The experience is full, start to upgrade. Ding. Upgrade successfully, get S level ringing, 5305 100.0000. Ding. B level strange power, 34,887 10 thousandths. The experience is full, start to upgrade. Ding. Upgrade successfully, get a level strange power, 24,887 tenths.0000. 99. The familiar sound of 760 sounded in his ears. In an instant, an unprecedented amount of amazing income was recorded, which shocked him. I haven't pretended to be forced for a long time, but I just pretended. How could I have such an amazing income? Not really. Shouldn't the system's brain be bombarded? Something's wrong? But Uchiha Qiye glanced at the three of Ryuchi Cave's Tying Zinshinheim, Ichikashima Heim, and Sunjinheim, and suddenly understood. These three, oh no, these three snakes are the existence of the Ryuchi Cave Elders. How powerful are the Ryuchi Cave Elders? After Jiraiya casts the Sage Mode, the two toads on the shoulders, Fukasaku and Shima will know. The status of the three of Tien Zinshinheim, Ichikashima Heim, and Sunatsu Heim was the same as that of Fukasaku and Shima. The strength is definitely comparable, at least, cage level village. It can be said that he just pretended to force in front of the three cage levels. So, not right either. Could it be that Uchiha Qiye suddenly realized something? You won't get so many pretending points by acting in front of three cage levels, but what if the White Snake Immortal is also watching him? The White Snake Immortals who have lived for thousands of years, the longevity is enough to prove that their former strength must not be built. Okay, now I'll give you a chance to choose, either take me to see the White Snake Immortal, or I'll cut the three of you down, and then go to the White Snake Immortal myself. Give you 3 seconds to think about it, 5 Uchiha Qiye said coldly. At the same time, he controlled the complete body Susanoo, grabbed the endless warblade, and an astonishing aura burst out from Susanoo instantly, this aura, without the slightest concealment. The moment of explosion, 3 God Tier G felt it right away. Advertisement that terrifying aura made them only have the urge to follow their hearts. Confrontation. This is simply not possible. Just the condensed momentum alone made them feel the huge awareness between them and the other party. 3. Uchiha Qiye said lightly. The voice came into the ears of the 3 God Tiers very clearly, making the hearts of the 3 God Tiers tense. Shouldn't they really be finished with a calf? But this is the rule set by the White Snake Immortal. They, before the White Snake Immortal nodded, they did not dare to take the initiative to take this person to meet the White Snake Immortal. 66. Enough, little friend, don't scare them, come in. Just when Uchiha Qiye read, 2, he was preparing to use the S-level Thor's breathing technique, but before he could do it, deep down, the White Snake Immortal spoke at this time. Uchiha Qiye also stopped what he was doing, then I'll give the White Snake Immortal a face. He said flatly. Then, the complete body Susanoo was released, and at the same time, he also closed his own Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. This way please. 3 God Tier G appeared very enthusiastic at the time of passing. If Orochimaru saw this scene, he would doubt his own life. After he signed a contract with Ryuchi Cave, it's not that I haven't been here. But, will people here be so polite? Feel sorry. Simply unheard of. If you dare to tell me that, I just think your head is funny. 3 God Tier G greet you with a smile. It's not too outrageous to dream 100 days. But the current situation is completely two-dimensional. Uchiha Qiye came to the government on the basis of his own strength. Advertisement they want to show their own difference, cold, arrogant and so on. Seeing Uchiha Qiye, their thoughts stopped. Dress up in front of the opponent. They were really afraid that if this man was really upset, he would just show the Susanoo, just now, and then slash down, slashing all 3 of them. 3 to really be like that, they were too embarrassed to die. So, show your passion. As long as the other party is not upset, then there is no reason for the other party to draw a knife and cut them. Think of it this way, they couldn't help but applaud their ingenuity. Who else, they asked, who else? Soon, Uchiha Qiye also met the White Snake Immortal. Looking at the other party's appearance, wearing a white gown, it looks like an elderly grandmother. But Uchiha Qiye is very clear, the appearance of the other party is just a disguise. Since you're all here, why don't you show your true appearance and use ninjutsu to disguise your appearance? It's a bit disrespectful to snakes. White Snake Immortal said 2.9. This, the complexion of the 3 God Tier G change. Not real looks. Uchiha Qiye also lifted the change technique and instantly returned to his original appearance. Isn't this a kid? What? This person, using ninjutsu disguise, deceived them? Well, since that's the case, please keep it as a secret after seeing my true appearance. 35. What the hell? This time, not only the 3 God Tiers were shocked by the age of Uchiha Kai's true appearance, but even the White Snake Immortal was also shocked by Uchiha Kai's appearance. The appearance of a nearly 6-year-old child appeared in the eyes of everyone. So, how strong must the opponent's method be? Chapter 177. 3 God Tier G. My mind is broken. 1. Subscribe. How old are you? Tienz and Shenji looked at Uchiha Kai's appearance and couldn't help but ask. It's almost 6 years old, what's the matter? Do you have an opinion on my age? Uchiha Qiye glanced at the 3-god tier G and said. 3-god tier G. Have opinions? We don't just have opinions, we have special opinions. What kind of god is this? Originally, Uchiha Qiye turned into a Uzumaki Reed, using transformation technique, but he was only in his 20s. Although he was very young, it was still within their acceptable range. After all, super cage levels in their 20s are rare, but not absent. Ken, the real you now look like, you are only almost 6 years old. You told us you have no opinion? We have a great opinion. The whole person, oh no, the whole snake should be almost stupid. Nearly 6-year-old super movie class, what the heck, Sage of 6 Paths isn't as good as you were at your age. Are you, a member of the Uchiha clan? After being silent for a long time, the White Snake Immortal asked 14 questions. Uchiha Qiye, 35, he put his name on it, it's a terrible family. The White Snake Immortal also sighed with emotion. It's not that Sage of 6 Paths doesn't know about it, but it has been descended for so many generations, and there is still a nearly 6-year-old super cage level. How did you practice? The White Snake Immortal asked. After seeing the real appearance of Uchiha Qiye, she wanted to know how this evildoer cultivated so powerfully. Cultivation. The chakra refinement method, just refine it and you will break through, it's very simple. Uchiha Qiye said. Yep, he's just bragging. His strength is mainly obtained by pretending. But, who knows, advertisement so what if he really bragged like that? Who can see through his system? In addition, his original strength is close to him, even if it is so unreliable, it also makes the White Snake immortal and the 3-god tier G believe 7 points. But the same, and speechless, is chakra refinement so awesome? Although they say that Ryuchi Cave is an immortal land, they practice the immortal art of chakra, which is different from the chakra refining method in the ninja world, but it does not mean that they do not know what the chakra refining method is. They even knew about it. The refining speed of that thing, compared to their Ryuchi Cave, is far worse. Practice that thing. Can you be super cage level at the age of 5? Afraid not to make fun of us, but Uchiha Qiye is a living proof. It seems that it should be a human reason. The White Snake Immortal took a deep look at Uchiha Qiye and said. She doesn't believe that the chakra extraction method is so awesome. And looking at the other party's appearance, he didn't lie to himself, so the only reason could only be because of Uchiha Qiye, not because of his cultivation method. Cultivation of this thing does not require a brain. It took a few years of cultivation to surpass cage level. Mayo feels that the speed of his cultivation is really slow, 35. Uchiha Qiye shook his head and said with emotion. His words. Very well dressed, but the expression on his face was so serious. It seems that he is really annoyed by the slowness of his cultivation speed. This moment, 3-god tier G's mentality collapsed. RNM. We have cultivated for an age that is far beyond your normal human lifespan, so that our strength has reached this level. As a result, you, a guy who has cultivated for a few years and reached a super cage level, still feels that he is slow. Where is the heaven? The 3-god tier G turned their heads in unison. Tears fell silently. The tears tonight are the unwillingness of the huge gap between anyone. White Snake Immortal. 66. 99 advertisement. Listening to Uchiha Kai's words, she didn't know what to say. She has lived for thousands of years, and this is the first time she has encountered such an outrageous guy. And she felt that the other party was pretending. But what the other party said was the truth. She didn't know what to say next. At this moment, the system prompt sounded in his ears. Ding! Host successfully pretended to force point plus 99999, 35. Ding! The force point is automatically assigned. Super cage level chakra plus 33333, superior sage body plus 66666. Ding! Super cage level chakra, 34,517 100.0000. The experience is not full. Please try to pretend to be the host and let the ability level up. Ding! Senior sage body, 111,181 tenths.0000. The experience is full. Start to upgrade, 99. Ding! Upgrade successfully. Get. Top sage body, 11,181 100.0000, 9. Accompanied by the distribution of force points. Uchiha Kai's superior sage body also filled up the experience bar directly, and then it was upgraded from superior sage body to the level of top sage body. This can already be said to be the strongest physique under the 6 paths level. If only the top sage body 760 improved again, I am afraid that it is the physique of the 6 paths realm. And with the improvement of physical fitness, the chakra in Uchiha Qiye also increased by a large amount. Sage body. The advantage of itself is the chakra that surpasses the ordinary number of times. And he was promoted to the top sage body, and the chakra grew again in an instant. Uchiha Qiye didn't have time to control the overflow of this power, and it erupted directly from his body. Swept this place. Moment. It was sensed by the White Snake Immortal and the 3-god tier G. Let the 3-god tier G pass through the heart like 1,000 arrows, what a heartbreak. This. And the White Snake Immortal. Please don't speak, let this immortal take a few puffs of his pipe to calm down his mood. You, broke through? If they can't feel this, then they should get rid of Ryuchi Cave from the ranks of the 3 immortal lands quickly, it would be a shame to keep it. Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't control it, I broke through accidentally, don't worry, I will hold back next time. 35. Uchiha Qiye also said to the White Snake Immortal and the three God tier G with a look of sorry. Among the three God tier Heim, Ichikishima Heim stared blankly at him and asked. Too obvious. Chapter 178. It turns out that Sage Mode is so simple. 1. Subscribe. Her life is too long, so she has seen too many human beings, but Uchiha Qiye is the first to make her silent like this. Your purpose is for the immortal art. The White Snake Immortal took 2 puffs of his pipe, calmed down his mood, and said. Yes. Uchiha Qiye nodded and said. He came here just for the immortal art, and there is nothing else here that can attract him except the immortal art. You have this qualification to learn the magic. The White Snake Immortal said with a complicated expression. She wanted to say that the other party didn't have the qualifications, but she really couldn't say it. If such evil spirits were not qualified, then it is estimated that the entire ninja world would not be able to find the person who Ryuchi Cave wanted to teach immortal arts. I know this. 35 Uchiha Qiye nodded in agreement. With his handsome face and strength, if he is not qualified, who else is qualified? However, you should also know that there are many people who learn immortal arts, but the price of failure is snake transformation. If you fail, you will die. The White Snake Immortal said slowly. Unlike Mount Myoboku. As a result of the failure of the Sage Mode in Ryuchi Cave, people will become snakes, while Mount Myoboku will only be turned into stone statues. If I can't learn it, then no one in this world can learn it. Uchiha Qiye said confidently. He, indeed, has the capital of this self-confidence. There is a system by your side. If you can't learn this, it's called outrageous. 3 God tier G. White Snake Fairy. It is really a person who is too confident. They have seen too many people with such self-confidence. However, after learning fairy tales, they ended in failure and finally turned into snakes. The 3 God tier G wanted to taunt Uchiha Qiye. But, consider the opponent's strength, they still decided not to speak. This person, they can't afford to offend. Next, I will inject natural energy into you. Advertisement. The White Snake Immortal said, bring it on. Uchiha Qiye said. He remembered that the cultivation method of Sage Mode in Ryuchi Cave seems to have been injected with natural energy by the White Snake Immortal with the tips of his teeth. If you can't bear it, then wait for the snake to transform. Subsequently, the White Snake Immortal also revealed his true appearance, a white snake sage with a green opal on the chest. A purple ribbon is the forehead protector. The forehead protector with army green horn-shaped ornaments on the top and the top of the head a red knight pearl with a pipe in his mouth. At first glance, this is an old smoking gun. This cigarette has been smoked for hundreds of years at least, and it didn't die. Uchiha Qiye couldn't help but murmured when he saw the White Snake Immortal like this. His murmur was very low, but who were the people present? The White Snake Immortal who lived for thousands of years, and the 3 God tier G who lived for hundreds of years at least. The voice was small, but they couldn't hear it? That is of course impossible. After hearing his voice, they had a black line. What a killing. The 3 God tier G were speechless. They had seen too many people who came to challenge them, but it was the first time they had seen this in front of the White Snake Immortal. They dared to say that the White Snake Immortal had not died after smoking for so long. The White Snake Immortal glanced at Uchiha Qiye and was a little unhappy, but since she agreed, she would do it. Step up. She infused Uchiha Qiye's body with natural energy with her fangs. Time. Uchiha Qiye, who received the natural energy instilled by the other party, instantly felt a large amount of natural energy entering his body, and even operated in a strange way. This feeling is simply not too cool, with the support of this energy. He can say without hesitation that his strength has improved again. After a while, the White Snake Immortal stopped the transmission of natural energy. On the other hand, Uchiha Qiye stood quietly, his eyes were blank as if he was looking at the air in front of him, and the White Snake Fairy and the 3 God tier G were also looking at him, wanting to see if this man, did he can withstand the natural energy, and learn Sage Mode. But what they don't know is, what Uchiha Qiye is looking at, in fact, is his data panel. Advertisement. All of a sudden, he found what he wanted from his own data panel. E-Class Sage Mode, 0 tenths. Really, Sage Mode has become one of his skills. 35 Uchiha Qiye sighed uncontrollably. He sighed like he was telling the White Snake Immortal and the 3 God tier G that he didn't learn Sage Mode. It's normal to fail, after all, Sage Mode, it's not that easy to learn. With your aptitude, give it up, you won't learn it. One has to be self-aware, the 3 God tier G said one after another. These words seem to be somewhat comforting, but after listening carefully, it can be said that they are mocking him Uchiha Qiye completely, but they have forgotten that this kind of injection of natural energy fails, but it will turn into a snake. Perhaps, it was because they felt that after hearing the other party's sigh, they couldn't help but want to ridicule Uchiha Qiye, so they, who had lived for so many years, forgot about it for a while. What did you say? When did I say I failed? Uchiha Qiye turned to look at the 3 God tier G, King Zhao's, with a puzzled face, and asked with a puzzled look. You didn't say you. 3 God tier G words have not finished. Uchiha Qiye directly entered the state of Sage Mode, which made their words and things stuck in their throats, and they didn't know what to say at all. Sage Mode. I think I have the qualifications, and it is estimated that after using it a few times, Sage Mode should enter a perfect state. 99. That's right. I thought Sage Mode would be difficult. I didn't expect to learn it all at once. 9. They looked carefully at the tail of Uchiha Qiye. It is Sage Mode. Although it is very rough, the natural energy is scattered everywhere, and after the display, the appearance of the other party is also a little bit inclined to the appearance of Snake, but there is no doubt that the other party's display is Sage Mode. Uchiha Qiye shook his head and said, Chapter 179. I'm pretending to be forced again. 1. Subscribe. No, this guy is pretending. The White Snake Immortal and the 3-God Tier G felt for the first time that there are still people like this in the world who pretend to be so natural, and they still rely on their own aptitude to pretend to be a force. Impressed. Don't they wear it? So irritating. Just now, you have learned Sage Mode. This is where the people who have turned into snakes for thousands of years in Ryuchi Cave want to practice Sage Mode. Give them some face. At this time, the sound of the system also sounded in Uchiha Kai's mind. Ding. Host successfully pretended to force point plus 99999, 39. Ding. The loading point is automatically assigned, the Superior Wood Style plus 33333, E-Level Sage Mode plus 66666. Ding. Senior Wood Style, 47,151 tenths.0000. The experience is not full. Please try to pretend to be a host and upgrade your abilities. Ding. E-Level Sage Mode, 66,666 tenths. The experience is full. Start to upgrade. 9. Ding. Upgrade successfully. Get D-Level Sage Mode, 66,656 100ths. 760. Ding. B-Level Sage Mode, 65,556 over 1.0000. The experience is full. Start to upgrade. Ding. Upgrade successfully. Get A-Level Sage Mode, 55,556 tenths.0000. 66.99. With the automatic distribution of the acquired power points, the experience bar of the Superior Wood Style is also quickly approaching the average, and the Sage Mode, which has just become a skill, has also been directly upgraded from the E-Level to the A-Level. Sage Mode, on. Uchiha Qiye dissipated the previous Sage Mode, and then turned on the Sage Mode again. This time, the phenomenon of snake transformation almost did not appear. The only thing that changed was that the face of Sage Mode appeared on his face. In addition, his eyes were transformed into Sage Mode after entering Sage Mode. A pair of golden snake eyes. Apart from that, there was no sign of serpentification on his body. This is the perfect Sage Mode. The really perfect Sage Mode, except for some facial masks similar to eyeshadows on the face, and some changes in the eyes, BECJ, other, there will be no changes. For example, Uzumaki Naruto learned the magic of Mount Myoboku, and Senju Hashirama learned the magic of Shibone Forest. There are just a few eyeshadows on their faces and changes in their eyes. However, his actions made the White Snake Immortal and the 3-God Tier G look stupid. Advertisement 3-God Tier G, White Snake Immortal. No, didn't you say you have to try several times to perfect Sage Mode? Why, after you try it once, it's perfect the second time. You kid just lied to us. They were shaking with anger. Now, they just want to report this kid for cheating. If it weren't for this, they would have eaten the entire Ryuchi Cave Monastery on the spot. I thought I had to try a few more times, but I didn't expect it to be so perfect the second time around. It was so good that I didn't feel any challenge at all. Uchiha Qiye sighed. He is just pretending. Each of these is an income of nearly 100,000 pretending points. Who can resist not pretending? Even if he pretends to be a bit more compelled, his skills will not be fully upgraded. I didn't see him pretending to act a few times, so he earned hundreds of thousands of pretending points. Just scratch the wool of Ryuchi Cave, next time. Go to another place and continue to pretend. Is it Shibone Forest or Mount Myoboku? In Uchiha Kai's heart, he was already thinking secretly. He never thought that this place could get so many pretending points, if he had known earlier. He also went to Rain Shinobi Village to dry his hair. Directly come to the 3 great immortal lands every day to take turns pretending to be forceful. After pretending to be forceful for a year, he will immediately become invincible. But he is a man of credit. The matter of Rain Shinobi Village has to be resolved no matter what, and if he leaves a mess to the Shao organization, then he is too immoral, and his conscience will not be able to live. What? He has no conscience? Then there is no problem. At this time, the system beep sounded again. Ding, host successfully pretended to force point plus 99999, 95. Advertisement, ding. Pretend points are automatically allocated, a level transformation technique plus 99,999.55. Ding. A level change technique, 115,219 tenths.0000. The experience is full. Start to upgrade. Ding. Upgrade successfully. Get S-Class Ever Changing, 15,219 100ths.0000. Accompanied by this prompt sound, as well as the distribution of the force point. Originally, the changing technique that was in the A level was directly upgraded to the S level and turned into a brand new S level ninjutsu. He is receiving the casting method and effect of this S level ever changing. Subsequently, he is a joy. Good guy, this ability is really wonderful. It can be said that it has made another improvement in the transformation technique, which can be perfectly transformed into the appearance of anything, but the power on the body will not have any changes. But the difference is, this kind of change will not be seen by anyone. The person facing him now is the Sage of Six Paths, or the White Snake Immortal, and if other immortals come, they still won't see the slightest flaw. It is as if he himself is the same appearance that has been transformed into ever-changing. This time, you can rest assured to put on the vest. Uchiha Qiye secretly rejoiced. This skill is simply the perfect configuration for him. At that time, he will not have to wear a vest in every ninja village. Anyway, it is impossible for these people to see his true appearance. At this time, Uchiha Qiye set his sights on the White Snake Immortal and the three-god tier G again. After learning Sage Mode, should he leave Ryuchi Cave? Suddenly, he was a little reluctant. He can't bear it. He wanted to stay a few more days in such a good place to pretend to be forced. In this way, he will be able to find more pretending points. He thought of a good way, perhaps, that would keep him from being driven out and stay a few more days. Chapter 180. I'll just stay in this wooden luxury house. 1. Subscribe. Wow, Uchiha Qiye opened his mouth and spat out a mouthful of blood, then looked injured. In this scene, I just stared blankly at the White Snake Fairy and the three-god tier G. What are you going to make trouble for? What are you doing? The White Snake Immortal asked inexplicably. I am injured and I want to stay at Ryuchi Cave for a few more days. Uchiha Qiye said with a weak look. Three-god tier G. White Snake Immortal. 66. Your exaggerated acting skills, can you be a little more fake? With this wave of Uchiha Kai's acting skills, they didn't know what to say next, and all of a sudden, they couldn't get it right. We don't have houses where humans live, the White Snake Immortal said. They are Ryuchi Cave, not the group of toads. Anyway, there is a nest. In Ryuchi Cave, not many snakes will build a nest for themselves. To say that there is a nest, it is also the monastery of the White Snake Immortal. Seems big. 18. Actually not so good. It doesn't matter, you can just give me a piece of land here, I'll build the house myself. Uchiha Qiye waved his hand and said, since you want it, you can choose it yourself, anywhere. The White Snake Immortal also said indifferently. Since the other party wanted to stay with her for a while, and her Ryuchi Cave was not the kind of place to refuse guests, she let the other party do what they wanted, anyway, without their help. Then here it is. Uchiha Qiye took 2 casual steps and then found an open space. Wood-style 4-pillar house technique. He clapped his hands, and in an instant, the ground in front of him began to churn, and branches sprang from the ground, and quickly, in a very short period of time, pieced together a complex wooden dwelling. What's more, it's a 3-story building. Looking at it like that, it can be said to be very luxurious. If it is thrown outside, it will take a lot of manpower to build it. And here in Uchiha Qiye, it took 10 seconds. I'll leave it like this, it can't be compared with yours, it's still okay to just take it. 35. Advertisement. After Uchiha Qiye finished building the house, he also turned around and said to the three-god tier G and the White Snake Immortal. These words really made them want to directly one-tail this guy to death. Soon, I'm afraid you have misunderstood the word will. When they don't know what a human house is like, that's it. Absolutely human, luxurious house, at this time. The prompt sound of the system also rang in his ear. Ding! Host successfully pretended to force point plus 99999. Ding! Pretend points are automatically assigned, a level strange power plus 33333, superior wood style plus 66666. Ding! A level strange power, 58,220.0000. The experience is not full, please try hard to pretend to be the host and upgrade the ability. Ding! Senior wood style, 113,817.0000. The experience is full, start to upgrade. Ding! Upgrade successfully, get. Top wood style, 13,817.100.0000. 6,699. This wave was forced by him again. Uchiha Qiye felt very comfortable, at least, no matter what, he was earning a lot of fun by pretending to be a bit of a force. This time, didn't he let his superior wood style directly upgrade to the top wood style? If this is here in Ryuchi Cave, in front of the White Snake Immortal and the three-god tier G, and pretending to be a few more times, it is not too far away from the 6 paths level chakra. This place is a bit spooky, add some green. Uchiha Qiye has a piece of both hands again. Then, the ground of this place was surging, and then, in the eyes of the White Snake Immortal and the three-god tier G, grass also appeared in this place. Originally, this desolate place instantly turned into grass. Watch this scene. The White Snake Immortal and the three-god tier G were silent for it. What the hell is this kid doing? Do they really need such a thing at Ryuchi Cave? Can't be repaired. They are snakes. What we want is a desolate place. Why did you make us so green? Gloomy, will give people a sense of oppression. Advertisement. Ask for flowers after. If other people come to their Ryuchi Cave, those who don't know it will think their Ryuchi Cave is a place for outings. Beautiful, it's much more pleasing to the eye now. Uchiha Qiye clapped his hands, very satisfied. That way, it looks comfortable. The desolate and gloomy appearance just now, I don't know, I thought I could see ghosts in this place. 3-god tier G, 66.95. Thank you, we feel included. It's time for good night, go to bed first, see you tomorrow. Uchiha Qiye felt that he was still a polite, good boy, said this to the White Snake Immortal and the 3-god tier G, and then walked into the wooden luxury residence. 0. It's getting late at this time. Originally, his appointment with Orochimaru was in the middle of the night. After arriving here, I learned the sage mode of Ryuchi Cave, but this process also took a lot of time, but at this point, it is indeed time to sleep. So, he should rest. He was so tired at Rain Shinobi Village, and now it's rare to relax. Why don't you let him get a good night's sleep? Pretend. No, this kind of thing. Let's talk about it when I wake up tomorrow. Wooden luxury home exterior. The three god tier G looked at each other. This guy, what is this? Take them Ryuchi Cave as their home. Immortal White Snake also glanced at it, then withdrew his gaze and took a deep breath of his pipe. In her life for more than 1,000 years, this is the first time she has ever seen her. This is also because she doesn't know what the purpose of Uchiha Qiye's pretending is. If she knows that Uchiha Qiye can become stronger by pretending, then she will never feel doubtful again. When the other party was in front of her, she felt that she really had no idea what the other party was thinking. Certainly, this kind of people, but she has seen too much. But there are some strange operations, but she can't see what the other party's purpose is. The other party really came for Sage Mode. Chapter 181. Cooking in Ryuchi Cave. This is a super chef. 1. Subscribe. Wake up. Uchiha Qiye said he was very comfortable. Although this place is cold and humid, Ryuchi Cave is indeed a good place. At least, there is still a lot of natural energy here, otherwise, Ryuchi Cave will not be here again. This is similar to the Heaven and Paradise in Shushin's novels. After his Sage Mode has reached a level, his Sage Mode has also silently started to absorb the natural energy in the air, although it is very little, but he can feel it. Sage Mode. Although this can enhance ninjutsu, physical fitness and so on. But, for Uchiha Qiye, what he wants most is a way of drawing natural energy that can make people live for thousands of years. Among the three immortal lands, the White Snake Immortal, Toad Sage, and Katsuyu Immortal. In addition to 777, there are the couple Fukasaku in Mount Myoboku, and the three god tier G in Ryuchi Cave. They have lived for at least a few hundred years, and the longest has lived for thousands of years. Do snakes and toads normally have such a lifespan? That is of course impossible. Even afraid, they are summoning beasts. Therefore, they must have a set of cultivation methods that can incorporate natural energy into their bodies and persist for a long time, enabling them to obtain a long life. Certainly, such a method is not Sage Mode. Sage Mode is just a special state. After entering this state, the power of ninjutsu, taijutsu, etc. will increase, but after exiting this state, that effect disappeared. Natural energy in the body? Naturally, as the Sage Mode was released, the body was spilled. There is no doubt about this. There are a lot of people who know Sage Mode, and I haven't seen them live that long. So, what Uchiha Qiye cares about is the cultivation method in these three great immortal lands that can really keep the natural energy in the body for a long time, not the Sage Mode in this special state. But he wasn't worried either, because, for him, this kind of thing is only a matter of time to get it. After upgrading the Sage Mode to a level, the Sage Mode is still the Sage Mode, but it doesn't matter, it's a big deal, just pretend to be aggressive, and then upgrade this skill. Upgrade to S rank. He doesn't believe that Sage Mode hasn't transformed yet. If it really doesn't work, then continue to upgrade, and upgrade to S level or above, it will definitely turn into a special cultivation method. It is a method that allows people to absorb natural energy and store it in the body for a long time. Dong dong dong. Advertisement early in the morning. A sound rang out in the wooden luxury house made by Uchiha Qiye. Anyone who had entered the kitchen or had seen others cooking could hear the sound of a kitchen knife being chopped on a cutting board. Uchiha Qiye is cooking right now. No way. This Ryuchi Cave, there is no restaurant or anything. Of course he couldn't pay to eat, so it can only be done. Actually, when I was just cooking, he actually wanted to make snake soup. After all, this is Ryuchi Cave, so many snakes, it would be too wasteful not to try snake soup. But one thought in front of the White Snake Immortal and the three god tier G. Catch them from Ryuchi Cave's snakes and make snake soup. This is a bit unkind. What if they kicked him out straight away? Wouldn't that be embarrassing? He stayed here because he wanted to pretend to be more coercive, but he was kicked out. He Uchiha Qiye don't want to lose face. Then, he took out the ingredients that he had sealed in the ninjutsu scroll. This is what he had prepared early on. In order to cope with the situation when you come to Ryuchi Cave without food. What seasonings are also prepared by him, once done. It can be said to be bells and whistles. Sorry, that's what a super chef is all about. Outside, the White Snake Immortal and the three god tier G also noticed Uchiha Qiye's actions. They couldn't help but feel a little annoyed. Good guy. Those who dare to go it alone just learn Sage Mode by force. You are still staying with me, it's okay to stay. Now, advertisement, you are still cooking at my Ryuchi Cave. How does this make your Ryuchi Cave your home? But soon, a scent came directly from Uchiha Qiye's house. This scent, whether it was Sand God tier G or the White Snake Immortal, smelled this scent. The anger on his face was also a bit of anger, and then, there was a little bit of anger on his face, intoxicated look. It seems that it was Uchiha Qiye's cooking that really attracted them. Then, three god tier G floated past. They just wanted to see, yes, what the hell this Uchiha Qiye was up to. Uchiha Qiye is eating, because it is morning, he just stopped and made some vegetable soup. The method is also very simple, it took him less than half an hour and he was done. A pot full of vegetable soup, he filled a small bowl and ate it. And he ate for a while. Three god tier G, but from where he opened the window, he floated in. Well, what are you eating? Seeing that Uchiha Qiye was eating so deliciously, Uchiha couldn't help but ask. This fragrance permeates this place, very strong. Not only her, but the other two goddesses have some unbearable saliva secretion of 2.9, it is too fragrant. Even snakes can't handle such fragrant food. Do you want to eat? A bowl? Uchiha Qiye took out several wooden bowls from the side and asked. He made it in wood style, and for him, it's just a matter of moving your fingers, no trouble at all. That, is it okay? Ichikishimaheim, Tianzinshinheim, and Sunjinheim swallowed their saliva, and asked with their eyes fixed on the pot of vegetable soup. Certainly, if you want to eat it, you can eat it yourself. Uchiha Qiye said generously. Of course he is very enthusiastic. Because, this is also in his plan, he is going to use his cooking skills to pretend to force. Chapter 182. Isn't this enough? 1. Subscribe? Heard. Tianzinshinheim, Ichikishimaheim, and Sunjinheim didn't endure it any longer. They had already smelled this fragrance, and now they're already greedy. Afterwards, they served themselves a bowl of vegetable soup. The rich aroma of this vegetable bisque hit their sense of smell, making them eager to taste it. Entrance. 3 God Tier G let out a soft moan. Yummy, so delicious. The taste of this soup is really the first time they have tasted such delicious food in the thousands of years they have lived. Only when Uchiha Qiye heard this voice, he couldn't help but put a question mark to express his feelings. I know my super chef is very high level, but can you guys stop making that noise? Otherwise, it always feels a little strange between us. It's not good if people are misunderstood. He Uchiha Qiye, not Shushion, is not interested in snakes. But, the other party fell into a food fantasy after tasting it, which was all he expected. No way. This is his cooking. In the ninja world, the highest, it is estimated that the level of senior chefs, but chefs in this world cannot make food that can make people fall into the food fantasy. It was only himself, after the level of the chef was raised. This can be done. Because, to make one's own dishes have the effect of food fantasy, it requires special methods. Only he can teach the method personally, otherwise, if he doesn't want to, no one in this world can make dishes that can taste the illusion of delicious food. Also obvious, his vegetable bisque instantly conquered 3 God Tier G. They devoured them. Bowl after bowl. Uchiha Qiye specially made a big pot, but the 3 God Tier Gs quickly ate more than half of it. He was in no hurry. Eat it, anyway, he can make it again at any time. When you want to eat it, you can make it yourself. Advertisement. By the way, don't forget to leave a bowl for the White Snake Immortal. Uchiha Qiye watched the 3 God Tier Gs frantically cooking, and he also reminded the 3 God Tier G that if you eat so deliciously here, he doesn't believe that the White Snake Fairy would not want to taste it. His words. The act of making the 3 God Tier G dry the meal is also the main meal. Afterwards, they looked at each other, but there was a hint of embarrassment on their faces. Patronizing the meal. Almost forgot about it. I come. Tianzin Shenji quickly put out a bowl of vegetable soup and put it aside, and then continued to cook. Taste, delicious. After a while, a large pot of vegetable soup was eaten cleanly by these 3 God tiers. Except for the extra bowl on the side, this bowl. Thanks to Uchiha Kai's reminder, otherwise, it is estimated that these 3 God Tier G will directly dry this pot of vegetable puree, and will never leave a little bit for the White Snake Immortal. It's so delicious, it's the first time I've had something so delicious with a knife. It's not that I haven't eaten the food in the human world, but compared to this, it's not worth mentioning. Are you still cooking at noon? The 3 God Tier G looked satisfied, and praised each other in her mouth. They have been conquered by Uchiha Kai's meals, that's cooking. You can come to Ryuchi Cave and open a store without any problem. The 3 God Tiers brought all the snakes from Ryuchi Cave to your restaurant to eat, and of course they couldn't pay, because they didn't need money here. Hurry up and give that bowl of vegetable soup to Immortal White Snake to taste, otherwise, it will be cold. Looking at the 3 God Tier G, Uchiha Qiye reminded. No way. I just ate a dish I made, are these 3 God Tier girls stupid? You are delicious, but don't forget that your immediate boss is still out there. It tastes so delicious. Forget about your boss. Are you not afraid that the White Snake Immortal will wear small shoes for you in the future? Advertisement, yes. First send this to the White Snake Immortal. 3 God Tier G also suddenly realized. Yup. They really ate too deliciously, and as a result, they forgot about it. Uchiha Qiye reminded them. So, they also quickly picked up a bowl of vegetable soup that was still warm on the side, that is, floated out. It was also at this time that Uchiha Qiye assigned a wood clone and asked him to clean the bowl, chopsticks, pan, etc., and then he walked out slowly. Wait for him to come out. The bowl of vegetable soup was already in the hands of the White Snake Immortal. As for why have hands? This is of course because she is currently transformed into 777's old grandmother's appearance. It is not so much a hand, in fact, this bowl of vegetable soup is actually just supported by the energy of fairy magic. But, on the surface, it's like holding it in hand. But it doesn't matter, for a White Snake Immortal who has lived for thousands of years, this operation is very normal. Then, Uchiha Qiye saw the other party's mouth and poured the bowl of vegetable soup into his mouth. At the moment of eating, the original appearance of the White Snake Immortal was revealed. Seeing that, Uchiha Qiye couldn't help but twitch the corners of his eyes. This is really, it is estimated that this bowl of vegetable soup is not enough for the White Snake Immortal to stick between his teeth. After tasting. Yes, your cooking skills are the best I've ever seen. No one can compare to you, at such a young age, with such cooking skills. I don't know how you practiced it. The White Snake Immortal praised. Isn't it all you need to have hands? 5. Uchiha Qiye smiled and said, 3 God tier G, 66.99. White Snake Immortal. 66.99 this is, let the other party install it again? Just have a hand. They have lived together for thousands of years and their feelings are a waste. Chapter 183. The Transformation of Energy. Super Cage Level Magic Chakra. 1. Subscribe. Ding. Host successfully pretended to force point plus 99999, 39. Ding. The force point is automatically allocated, a level monster power plus 33333, a level sage mode plus 66,666. Ding. A level strange power, 91,553 tenths.0000. The experience is not full, please try hard to pretend to be the host and upgrade the ability. Ding. A level sage mode, 122,222 tenths.0000. The experience is full, start to upgrade. Ding. Upgrade successfully, get S level sage mode, 122,222 100ths.0000. 66.99. Ding. I checked that Super Cage level chakra and S level sage mode are both energy skills, and the skills will be fused, please wait. 35. Ding. Congratulations to the host for getting Super Cage level magic chakra, 56,739 100ths.0000. 6,699. The system prompt sounded in his mind. The same is true. After the A-level Sage mode was upgraded to the S-level Sage mode, the system actually integrated itself, directly combining Chakra and Sage mode. Merged into Shanshu Chakra. Uchiha Qiye also sensed the changes in his body. Instantly understood what was going on in his body. Chakra has changed. It can be said that now he doesn't need to activate the so-called Sage mode at all, he already has the magic chakra in his body. That is to say, now the natural energy has been perfectly combined with chakra, just like the chakra he extracted normally, and the natural energy in the body will not dissipate due to the closure of Sage mode. Isn't this what he dreamed of? Natural energies and chakra are perfectly combined and last forever. It should be unceremonious to say that now, he is just like the White Snake Immortal, the 3 God tier G and others. If his previous Sage mode was a limited time edition, then, his magic, chakra, is the permanent version. He felt the magic chakra in his body, and he could be very sure that this magic chakra could make him live a long life. Now his every move can be said to be subconsciously absorbing the air, natural energy. Cool, Uchiha Qiye moved, and there was a crackling sound of fried beans from his body, which made him feel very comfortable. Advertisement, this is Sage mode. The White Snake Immortal and the 3 God tier G also felt the change in Uchiha Qiye. The other body absorbed natural energy. How could they, the old monsters who have cultivated for thousands of years, not feel it? They have long been very sensitive to natural energy, and as soon as Uchiha Qiye absorbs natural energy, they know it. Only, see each other like this, not the slightest change in appearance. That Sage mode originally, the Facebook that should exist, is gone. Just like them, Sage mode will bring Facebook, but the immortal arts they practice would not be possible. Because the natural energy will always exist in their bodies, just like their own things, so basically there will be no facial expressions. For example, the couple Fukusaku of Mount Myoboku, the White Snake Immortal, Toad Sage, etc., when cultivating, do you have a face mask? No others practice the Sage mode they gave, which is a short-term and incomplete Sage mode cultivation method in their cultivation methods, which can make the natural energy temporarily preserved in the body, and entering this state can make ninjutsu and other abilities are improved. But, because the reason is separated from the natural energy methods of their snake, toad, and katsuyu practice. So, no matter which fairyland you are practicing in, after practicing, there will be a very obvious characteristic. When cultivating in that place, a little mark of this place will appear on the body. For example, after learning the celestial operation of Mount Myoboku, at first contact, there will be a toad-like appearance, and there will be traces of practicing Ryuchi Cave, and there will also be a snake-like appearance, but these are not perfect Sage mode mastered to the point of. And the master is perfect, and the last thing left is that there will only be a little facial makeup on the face. But, Uchiha Qiye they thought it was outrageous when they saw it. An incredible idea popped into their minds. This guy, shouldn't he have obtained the real cultivation method of immortality? Just such an idea, out of their minds, advertisement. Accidentally broke through again. 39 Uchiha Qiye looked at the White Snake Immortal and the 3 God tier G and laughed. 3 God tier G. In White Snake Fairy. What else can we say? Are you not good enough? Have you completely transformed your chakra into an immortal chakra? 35. Tien Shenji asked. Her eyes were fixed on Uchiha Qiye, and she was very curious whether the other party really did it through Sage mode, and reversely deduced a set of cultivation methods for his own immortal art, chakra. Hey, I didn't expect that the cultivation method of Shanshu chakra would be so easy for me to comprehend. Uchiha Qiye sighed with emotion. The strong air of pretense is spreading. Yes, he's just pretending. With such a good pretense capital, why not pretend to be coercive? Taking advantage of the fact that he is still in Ryuchi Cave, he hastened to stroke the wool of the White Snake Immortal and the 3-god tier G again. Jiao jiao jiao. Otherwise, after he left, he would like to earn some pretense in the future, but there would be no such place to earn as much. You actually did it. 99 Tianzin Shenji was shocked. In the same way, Shikishima Ji, Sunjin Ji, and the White Snake Immortal were all equally shocked. Codes. Awful talent. 35 outrageous. I'm just a little bit better in talent. The White Snake Immortal also sighed with emotion. That's right, it's just a billion point better than others. Even through the sage mode they gave, he recklessly developed a set of cultivation methods for his unique magic chakra. The White Snake Immortal praised it. After living for thousands of years, this kind of pervert talent, it is the first time for them to get excited. Uchiha Qiye said, humbly, Chapter 184, S-Level Strange Power. 1. Subscribe. Ding. Host successfully pretended to force point plus 99999. Ding. The force point is automatically allocated, a level purple electricity plus 66666, a level strange power plus 33333. Ding. A level purple electricity, 75,554 tenths.0000. The experience is not full, please try hard to pretend to be the host to upgrade the ability. Ding. A level strange power, 124,886 tenths.0000. The experience is full, start to upgrade. Ding. Upgrade successfully, get, S-level strange power, 24,886 100ths.0000. 66.99 just this moment, this made Uchiha Qiye pretend to be successful again. Really catchy. A little bit? I'm afraid it's not a million points. The White Snake Immortal and the 3-god tier G also looked at Uchiha Qiye very speechlessly. If they knew earlier, they would not let the other party live here. Now that they are fine, they have been shown a face by the other party. Subsequently, Uchiha Qiye found that he had no chance to pretend. Because, these guys are no longer ignoring him. Maybe he is used to his character, not necessarily. The night came again. Uchiha Qiye used thousands of variations and went out in the form of a Uzumaki reed. He made an appointment with Orochimaru, and the other party would come to him at this time. Certainly, now he doesn't want to leave, but anyway, you have to meet each other. Otherwise, what if the other party thinks that he has failed to learn Sage Mode and that he has been swallowed by a snake? Old place. Bang, a cloud of white smoke appeared, and Orochimaru appeared. Orochimaru, it's early. 35 Uchiha Qiye looked at each other and said. Uzumaki-kun, have you learned Sage Mode? Orochimaru looked at Uchiha Qiye with a smile and said. Sage Mode is so hard to learn. First, it is the test of the 3-god tier G, it is very troublesome. Advertisement he didn't think the other party could learn Sage Mode in one day. What do you say? Uchiha Qiye looked at him, and the magic chakra on his body burst out directly, crushing it towards Orochimaru. Boom, this immortal technique, chakra, directly made a big hole in the ground under his feet. Orochimaru only felt like a mountain was pressing down on his body, and his eyes shrank suddenly. This chakra. Since Orochimaru has signed a contract with Mount Myoboku, it is impossible to say that the White Snake Immortal has never seen it. He has seen the Elder Level 3-god tier G, and he has also felt the other party's fairy magic. Chakra's coercion. Unfortunately, the coercion of the celestial magic chakra, and the Uzumaki reed, cast on him now, is the same. Even more than that, it's been too much. The coercion of the 3-god tier G's immortal art, chakra, did not bring him such a feeling. Compare with Uzumaki reed, in between, it seems to be one level off. How does chakra feel? Do you feel it? Uchiha Qiye said lightly. Afterwards, he restrained the immortal technique chakra that he had burst out. I want to hold down my subordinates, then there must be absolute deterrence. Although it is said that he is only trading with Orochimaru at present, he still has to use his strength to intimidate the other party from time to time, otherwise, he will be someone like Orochimaru who will jump and jump in the future. At that time, it is not certain when to sell him directly. It's really amazing talent, it makes people feel very scary. 35. Orochimaru stared at Uchiha Qiye fiery, the other party's talent was more terrifying than he imagined, and in just one night, he learned Ryuchi Cave's Sage Mode, which is the talent of BECJ, and others. He didn't know. What Uchiha Qiye learned was indeed Sage Mode in the beginning. But on this day, directly under the pretense of Uchiha Qiye, he directly upgraded the Sage Mode to a cultivation method that is perfectly integrated with chakra, Shanshu chakra. Say without hesitation. If Uchiha Qiye were to write down this immortal chakra practice method, the whole ninja world would go crazy. After all, advertisement as long as you can practice cage level chakra, it will be very easy to live for hundreds of years, even if you don't practice cage level chakra, Genin level, Chunin level, Jonin level. These can make life longer, it can be seen from this. How precious is his method of cultivating the celestial art of chakra. Nobody, the Lord who can resist this temptation. I'm going to stay here at Ryuchi Cave for some more time, you just, come to me in 5 days. Uchiha Qiye said slowly. He really wanted to stay here for an extra month or two, but he thought that there were members of the Akatsuki organization waiting for him in the Land of Rain, so he could only stay here for 5 days. He couldn't completely ignore the Akatsuki organization in the Land of Rain. Orochimaru also nodded. This request was nothing to him. It's just that he was a little curious. Why is the other party going to stay in Ryuchi Cave for a few more days? After all, he has already learned the Sage Mode. His purpose is Sage Mode, now that you have learned. Then why wait any longer? What's the point of this? Could it be? Want to be neighbors with the White Snake Immortal and the others? That's what he thought. If they were neighbors with the White Snake Immortal and the others, it would be outrageous. According to his guess, 80% of the time, the reason for the other party to stay at Ryuchi Cave for a while should be to learn more about Sage Mode from the White Snake Immortal and the 3-God Tier G in Ryuchi Cave. He really couldn't think of any other possibility. Your previous guess is right, the other party is really sitting with its neighbors. Otherwise, the opponent's talent has already come up with a set of cultivation methods of his own, Shanshu Chakra, and we no longer have the qualification to teach him, he is too pervert. Ask us about Sage Mode again. If the White Snake Immortal and the 3-God Tier Gs knew what Orochimaru thought, they would definitely say something to Orochimaru. You really think too much. Chapter 185. This wave is really blood loss. 1. Subscribe. Orochimaru is gone, and Uchiha Qiye stayed at Ryuchi Cave. Life at Ryuchi Cave. For Uchiha Qiye, it's still possible, of course. This premises that he has prepared all kinds of prepared food in advance, otherwise, it is estimated that he has to plan to kill snakes to make snake soup. But soon, Uchiha Qiye found out that in the next 5 days, he actually became a chef, and he did not pretend to be successful. For him, this was undoubtedly a great failure, but when you think about it, it seems quite right. After all, who can eat all over the sky with one trick? That is of course impossible. 5 days passed in a flash. Uchiha Qiye, who stayed in Ryuchi Cave for 5 days, can almost be said to have rested here for the past few days, because he really didn't pretend to succeed, so he could only rest. Otherwise, he would have to clean all the wool in Ryuchi Cave. Let's go. Uchiha Qiye said to Orochimaru. Then, Orochimaru also performed the trick that brought Uchiha Qiye here and left Ryuchi Cave. After they leave, the figure of the 3-God Tier G also appeared here. It's a pity, I'm afraid it will be difficult to taste such delicious food in the future. It's really a pity, but we can't force each other to stay. It's better to go, otherwise this little guy always wants to pretend in front of us. The 3-God Tier G looked at the place where Uchiha Qiye left with some nostalgia, and their eyes were filled with reluctance. This reluctance was because they felt extremely reluctant to part with the food Uchiha Qiye cooked. After all, in the past few days, they have been conquered by the meals made by Uchiha Qiye. If they hadn't been able to beat each other, they would have liked to tie each other directly in Ryuchi Cave, and let each other be their cook and cook delicious food for them every day. Advertisement: the mountain behind the leaves. My bones are rusted from staying in Ryuchi Cave for the past few days, and this time, I'm finally back. Uchiha Qiye stretched his muscles and said. Since you're back, I should go back too. If I'm found, it'll be bad. Orochimaru said with a smile. Now, he hasn't gotten to the point where he has torn his face with Konoha, so he has to go back early before he is found out by the Anbu who is watching him. This is the safest. Remember that after you have studied how to transplant wood style perfectly, remember to pass on the method of perfectly transplanting wood style to me. Uchiha Qiye said with a smile. Then, looking at Orochimaru who was about to leave, he threw a scroll with a smile. Orochimaru directly caught the scroll. This is the extraction method of the Celestial Art Chakra, as a trade item for our third transaction, but what I need is how to clone the Sharingan. I think you should know what I mean, Uchiha Qiye said slowly. You got this from the White Snake Immortal? As soon as Orochimaru heard it, he immediately knew the preciousness of this thing in his hand. This is after I learned Sage Mode and improved it into a cultivation method that suits me. You should know the value of this thing. Also, if this thing spreads out, don't blame the whole ninja world for chasing you. 5. Uchiha Qiye looked at Orochimaru and warned. Since you said that, Uzumaki, what else can I say? Don't worry, I won't leak this thing out. After all, I don't want to be chased by a strong man like you, Uzumaki. 35. Orochimaru said with a smile. He was very excited when he grasped the scroll, his knuckles were turning white. The cultivation method of the Immortal Art Chakra, this thing, but he had only dreamed of it, and now, he was able to get it. How could he not be excited? The deal is done. He smiled, and then, with the cultivation method of Shienju Chakra, he left. Uchiha Qiye also watched the other party leave without saying anything. He warned the other party just now, that is for the other party to spread the cultivation method of Shanshu Chakra, everywhere, especially in Konoha. Advertisement: katakana middle dot seeking flowers at least, that's not what he wanted. If it really spreads, then this thing will definitely fall into the hands of the Hokage lineage of Sarutobi Hiruzen. If that's the case, it is simply to promote the strength of the Hokage line. Really want that? His Uchiha clan must not be suppressed to death by the Hokage lineage. After all, among second Hokage's disciples, there are not many who have a favorable impression of the Uchiha family. If they can attack the Uchiha family, they will definitely be very happy. Exactly. He chose to warn Orochimaru. As for whether this thing will spread in the future, he didn't care. Shanshu Chakra, it seems that the cultivation method is there, but everyone's talent is limited. Just like some people may only be a genin for the rest of their lives, and some people may be only jonin for the rest of their lives, but they cannot reach the cage level. Something is given to them, but it doesn't mean that they can cultivate to cage level one by one. The only effect of the immortal art chakra is that, similar to Sage of Six Paths, spreading the cultivation method of chakra, in the end, it will only make the power of the master in this evil world stronger. The war just got bigger, but these are nothing to Uchiha Qiye. Future things will be discussed in the future. Whether it will spread out or not is another matter. And even if it is spread out, no one will refuse the cultivation method of this, Shanshu chakra. After all, the cultivation of Shanshu chakra will make people live longer and live longer. Who would refuse to live longer? It's time to go back to Rain Shinobi village. Uchiha Qiye glanced at the village, sighed and said. Originally, he was going to do something for Sarutobi Hiruzen to make the other party devastated. As a result, he stayed in Ryuchi Cave for 5 full days, but he got nothing. This wave is really bloody. Chapter 186. I can't wait to dig out a villa with my feet. 1. Subscribe. Rain Shinobi Village. The rainy weather is still there. Uchiha Qiye is back. Source Village. Uchiha Qiye transformed into a Zug village husband, again and entered the village. Master Zug. Master Zug is back. What? Lord Zug is back. Great, those goddamn Rain Shinobi village ninjas have seriously injured Lord Yahiko. Now that Lord Zug is back, our Shao organization is going to stand up again. Damn, that guy Hanzo is going too far. Now that the military advisor Zug is back, Hanzo should take a good look at him. 66. Some people with the outer door medal of the Shao organization on their bodies saw Uchiha Qiye step into the source village. They immediately noticed the return of the Zug village husband, and immediately cheered. Their words, 777. Although the rain made the sound a little quieter, for Uchiha Qiye, even if it was the case, he still heard it clearly. One listen. His brows furrowed. Yahiko seriously injured? Uchiha Qiye had a bit of astonishment on his face, and some couldn't believe it. Before he left, Nagato's strength was already at cage level, and Yahiko was not far from cage level, and so was Konan's strength. How? This kind of thing happened. Didn't Yahiko and the others say that they would be assured? Why did I only leave Moyo for 7 days, and it looked like the Akatsuki organization was about to finish? What happened? Uchiha Qiye pulled a member of the outer door of the Akatsuki organization and asked. Master Zug, it's like this, on the 2nd day after you left, Rain Shinobi Village discovered the existence of our Shao organization, and then the ninjas of Rain Shinobi Village quickly attacked the people of our Shao organization. Although our bottom level personnel are not bad at all, the other side's ninjas will eventually get straight to the point. Uchiha Qiye saw that this person wanted to say a bunch of nonsense, so he couldn't help interrupting the opposite and reminding him. 2 days ago, Hanzo invited the senior leaders of our Akatsuki organization to meet. Leader Yahiko took Nagato-sama and Konan-sama to attend, and they were ambushed by them. Nagato-sama and Konan-sama both suffered a lot of injuries. The most important thing is the leader of Yahiko, who was directly injured and the child is still being rescued. I don't know what the specific situation is, but now it's alright. Sergeant Zug is back. Advertisement. This member of the outer door of the Shao organization looked at the Zug village husband and said with excitement. Uchiha Qiye also went directly to the center of the base of the Shao organization. Codes. What the hell? Just so little time. Why is so much happening? He was really incomprehensible. And, in particular, Yahiko and the others were even able to fall into the ambush of Hanzo and the others. Was this particular head shot by cannons? I have reminded them long ago that Hanzo is not a good thing. The result? The result? He has only been away for a few days, so he thinks he can do it? You think you are all 2 pillars? Speechless. He was really speechless. Shao organization base. After Uchiha Qiye came over, everyone saw him, all bowed respectfully, and looked at him with fiery eyes, as if a brainless fan saw their idol. Of course, Uchiha Qiye didn't care about this at all. Mainly, how is Yahiko's situation now? Don't hang up. Then this is simply a blow to the Shao organization. Moreover, Yahiko's death may have directly caused Nagato blacken. At that time, things may be out of his control again. But okay. As soon as he came in, Uchiha Qiye turned on his perception ability, and in an instant, he caught Yahiko's breath. Fortunately, he sensed Yahiko's chakra. But the bad thing is, Yahiko's current condition looks quite weak. Yahiko, this matter is our fault. If I had been on guard, I wouldn't have let you lie here now. Nagato said to Yahiko lying on the hospital bed. Nagato, don't feel guilty. You've been talking about this for the past 2 days. You're not annoying. I'm annoying. My Yahiko's life is very hard, and an ambush can't kill me. Advertisement. Yahiko, who was wrapped in a mummy on the hospital bed, also comforted his good friend. Master Zug reminded us a long time ago, but we. Nagato said reproachfully. Who would have thought that Hanzo was so insidious? He set up a bunch of detonating charms to ambush them at the place of negotiation. If Yahiko didn't respond quickly, the 3 of them would just hang up. But, Yahiko is also lying here because he has suffered too much damage. The burns on the body were also very serious, but it's fine now. When I came back 2 days ago, it was really scary, and I almost thought I couldn't be saved. Humph. I reminded you a long time ago, but you are still negligent. What are you holding in your head? Is it shit? The figure of Uchiha Qiye walked directly into the ward, and when he saw the seriously injured Yahiko, he snorted coldly, and even turned on the hatred mode. Outraged. It was him who really let him down. You dare to be careless about that guy Hanzo. What the hell are you guys trying to do when I'm not at home? Come directly to a wave of blacken. Uchiha Qiye was shaking with anger. Master Zug. Master Zug. Zoob. When the three people in the room saw Zoob village master walk in, the expressions on their faces instantly became overjoyed, but, following the other party's words, they were also trained to shrink their necks. It's really embarrassing. When Advisor Zoob left, they promised to manage Xiao's organization well. As a result, just the second day after Advisor Zoob left, things came one after another. Most importantly, they went over with the idea of negotiating with Hanzo. As a result, he was actually caught in an ambush by the other party, and almost lost his life there. The most embarrassing thing at the moment was Yahiko, who was tied into a mummy on the hospital bed. But the leader of the Xiao organization, result. Yes, if his legs weren't injured, he would feel embarrassed to dig out a villa with his feet. Chapter 187. Yahiko. It's all because Hanzo is too sinister. 1. Subscribe. It hurts so badly, Yahiko, you can too. 99. I'm thinking about the other party's ambush, why didn't I just kill you guys? This also saves me from having to scold you again. Uchiha Qiye sneered when he looked at Yahiko, who was seriously injured and tied into a mummy on the hospital bed. Yahiko. Nagato. 66.99 Conan. 6,699 soldier, don't say it, I'm wrong, okay? For them now, their faces are really panicked, and if they can, they really want to find a place to dig into 14. Hanzo is using a detonating talisman trap, right? Uchiha Qiye asked. The other party is too insidious, and even used Shadow Clone to negotiate with us, and set up a large number of detonating charm traps in the place of negotiation. As soon as we were seated, the other party shot directly. Although Yahiko said that he looked really miserable now, he was still able to speak. The thought of the shameless behavior of Hanzo's group made Yahiko angry. So shameless. Set an ambush before they come, well camouflaged. As a result, when it arrived, they used the Shadow Clone technique to create a Shadow Clone to let them sit down. As a result, as soon as they sat down, the other party directly attacked them. The kind that doesn't say a word. On the one hand, it is because of his weak strength. Unlike Nagato, who has Rinnegan, and Conan can also use the paper escape technique to fly, and Yahiko himself is very responsible. As soon as the opponent makes a move, he blocks most of the attacks, protected both Nagato and Conan. Advertisement. This is the main reason for his serious injury. Eat a cut and grow a wisdom. Next time, don't do such stupid things to me again. Otherwise, my name as a village husband of Zoob will be wiped out by you sooner or later. Uchiha Qiye glared at these people and said. Then, he also walked to Yahiko's bedside, stretched out his hand, and grabbed Yahiko's wrist. Hi, Yahiko took a breath. Pain. This is beyond doubt. With just this strength, he had extensive burns on his body. Although there was a treatment for ninjas, it did not mean that his wounds were healed directly. Now, it's just medicine and bandages. To heal? That would probably take a long time. And Uchiha Qiye this time, he can only endure, who told him to suffer. Subsequently, he found out that Zoob military master didn't want to torture him, on the contrary, he was instilling chakra in his body through contact, and this chakra seemed to be different from ordinary chakra. As soon as he entered his body, in an instant, he felt the pain in his body and more than half of it disappeared. This is also normal. After all, advertisement. Now the chakra in Uchiha Kai's body is all the magic chakra. The magic chakra itself has the effect of longevity, instilled in others, with some healing effects. Isn't this normal? At the same time, he also controlled the power to instill into the opponent's body. Yahiko also said comfortably. For him, it felt really comfortable. He was in terrible pain all the time, but now more than half of the pain has disappeared. How can this make him feel uncomfortable? Yahiko, if you talk again, Hanzo didn't kill you, I will definitely kill you. Uchiha Qiye said. I grab your wrist and infuse you with the magic chakra to heal you. Result. How dare you say, cool, do you know how embarrassing this is? It made Uchiha Qiye have the urge to slap the guy directly to death. Understand. Yahiko also nodded at the mummified head. Subsequently, Uchiha Qiye is also delivering the fairy technique chakra bit by bit, and is treating Yahiko, but the speed of the treatment is obviously not as fast as imagined. It is estimated that it will take a long time to complete this treatment. Chapter 188. If I believe his nonsense again, I will swim in the septic tank butterfly. 1. Subscribe. Uchiha Kai's treatment is naturally very effective. At least, Yahiko knows this. About an hour later. Only then did Uchiha Qiye stop his move to deliver the immortal magic chakra. Enough is enough. More. Yahiko couldn't hold it anymore. Immortal chakra, no matter who it is, if the amount is too large, it will only bring about the opposite effect, and the toad statue of Mount Myoboku has a very strong say in this. But, even so, Yahiko's injuries were also restored to about 50% by Uchiha Qiye. Thank you Zoob military advisor, 39 Yahiko thanked. Now he is deeply aware of the condition of his body. If the blood volume of his previous blood bar was about 5%, then now, the blood volume of his blood bar is 50%. Don't doubt, Shanshu chakra is so awesome. Ordinary chakra can bring healing effects through special methods. Not to mention the healing effect of chakra. Even if it is only transported into Yahiko's body to make his wound heal quickly, the speed of the treatment is far beyond what ordinary healing ninjutsu can match. It seems that I will have to learn another healing ninjutsu at that time. Uchiha Qiye looked at Yahiko and murmured. This wave is still based on the fact that he has no treatment of ninjutsu. If he has a skill related to healing ninjutsu, Yahiko will not be able to resurrect with full health. This little time, He was already thinking about going back to Tsunade to learn a healing ninjutsu specially used to heal others. For example, healing jutsu. This trick to treat trauma is simply not very effective. Certainly, advertisement in addition, there are many healing ninjutsu. But individually, healing jutsu is the most suitable for him to learn. Other ninjutsu, there are quite a few, are to directly heal oneself. For example, the ninjutsu of ninja art, meiotic regeneration, Baihao technique, etc., are indeed very amazing medical ninjutsu, but this medical ninjutsu is a medical ninjutsu, my own. But it can't be used to treat others, so, he took healing jutsu, one of the must-learn ninjutsu in his plan. Don't be so stupid next time. Uchiha Qiye glanced at Yahiko calmly and said. These words made Yahiko blush and blush with shame. Originally, it is preparing to take advantage of Zug's absence to show off his skills. Result. Good guy, I almost hit GG directly on the hospital bed when I was ashamed. This wave, what a special face is gone, if you do it again. Paralyzed. If he believed that sinister Hanzo again, he would go straight to the septic tank butterfly. Master Zug, this is not only Yahiko's fault, but also us. Yes, we also believed Hanzo's nonsense for a while, so that's why. Konan and Nagato both said very embarrassedly, if Yahiko went alone, that's fine. But, the three of them went to the meeting with Hanzo together. This is the decision of the three of them after deliberation. So, it's really a matter of right and wrong, that was definitely not Yahiko alone. Both of them have a lot of responsibilities. Enough, I don't want to pursue this matter. Now, let me clarify the situation of Xiao's organization during my absence. 5. Uchiha Qiye said, just make fun of them, advertisement. There is no point in pursuing right or wrong, now. What he wanted to know was what happened to the Xiao organization during his absence. After understanding it clearly, only in this way can he plan the next move of the Xiao organization. Now Xiao organizes. Konan spoke slowly, next. Uchiha Qiye can be considered to have a good understanding of the current situation of the Akatsuki organization. Emotion. It was long after he left that he was discovered by Hanzo's people. As a result, Hanzo and the others directly attacked their Akatsuki organization. The place to start. Of course it was Akatsuki's territory. Just 7 days. Jiao Jiao Jiao. Originally, the more than half of the site that has been won has shrunk directly to 1/3. All members of Akatsuki's organization, after Yahiko was seriously injured, were withdrawn under the orders of Konan and Nagato. If it continues to spread like this, it is likely to be defeated one by one. Group resistance. This is the best option. Estimate. In the past few days, it was time for Hanzo and the others to launch a general attack. They are also anxiously waiting for his return, after all. In their hearts. As long as the military advisor Zug returns, he will surely be able to turn the tide. Solve this bad situation. Chapter 189. The next battle. 1. Subscribe. Hey. Uchiha Qiye also sighed. Originally, his plan to pretend was going to take his time. Unexpectedly, Hanzo found out, and now he can only advance this plan. Though things have changed a little bit, it's not a big deal. Uchiha Qiye looked at Konan and the others and said. Take a good rest. Next, within half a month, win the country of rain. There was confidence in his tone. That's right, after all, he has a strong strength, and the current Xiao organization is already very strong. If with his help, he can't win the country of rain. Then he is trash. It is good. Konan and others also regained their confidence in the eyes, said. With military advisor Zug around, they instantly felt a lot more confident. After all, Uchiha Qiye is now the spiritual pillar of the Akatsuki organization. Yahiko will be taken care of by Nagato. Konan will come with me. We need to regroup the Akatsuki organization. 777 Uchiha Qiye said. Master Zug, I don't need. Rest well and recharge your batteries, this is your task. 35. As soon as Yahiko heard it, he stood up and refused Nagato's offer to take care of him, but Uchiha Qiye directly pushed him back, and the former had nothing to say. Later, Yahiko and Nagato were left in this ward. Uchiha Qiye took Konan out. Master Zug, do you want me to gather all the members of the Xiao organization? Konan walked early to Uchiha Kai's side and asked. You don't need all of them, come in batches, Uchiha Qiye said. Advertisement. During the time I went out, my strength has improved, and it's just right to open the pulse of the members of the Xiao organization again, so that they can improve their strength a bit before the battle with Hanzo. Uchiha Qiye said. Now, BECJ, his chakra has transformed into a fairy art chakra. The power of the fairy art chakra is naturally far beyond a single chakra. With the power of the immortal technique chakra, he can reopen those pulses that he has opened up. In the final analysis, it is actually to cooperate with his immortal technique chakra to raise the upper limit of the chakra capacity of these people again. Of course, this is indeed a seedling to encourage growth. But, it is a seedling growth without side effects. It will not affect their future cultivation. People with Jonin and Cage level talents, as long as they practice diligently, they will still reach the realm they should be. It depends on the diligence of these people, up again? On the side, Konan looked at Zug military advisor with incomparable surprise in his eyes. Terrible. How long has it been? In about 7 days, the unfathomable strength of Zug military master has been improved again during this period of time? It is already so strong, and it is still improved, so is it worth it? This is simply not letting ordinary people like them live. Let's gather the members of the outer sect of the Shao organization in Yuan village first. I will help them open their pulses, and then I will call back the members of the Shao organization in other places one by one. Open their pulses one by one, gather their hands together, and be careful not to let the ninjas of Rain Shinobi village defeat them one by one. Uchiha Qiye said. Understood. 35 Konan listened to Uchiha Kai's words earnestly and responded. Also, let the people from our Shao organization go to the Rain Shinobi village to give the Rain Shinobi village the next gauntlet and pick a suitable location. The time will be set in 7 days, and a decisive battle will take place. Uchiha Qiye said. Advertisement. Since they want to pretend to be forced, both parties must have people in attendance no matter what. If the assassination from village to village has passed, how can Uchiha Qiye pretend to be a force? What he wants is the same as when Konoha and Sanagakure fought last time. In that way, he can earn a little more pretending. It is good. Konan nodded, although the current Akatsuki organization is much worse than Rain Shinobi village, but she believes that the Zub military advisor will not make wrong decisions casually. Besides, the opponent's formidable strength is the greatest confidence given to them. Lose? Feel sorry. The backbone of our Akatsuki organization is back. Hanzo, you guys are ABCH. Soon. Uchiha Kai's order was also issued. In the Shao organization, the fame of Zub military advisor is more famous than that of the leader Yahiko. After all, it can be said that almost all members of this well-known organization have been opened by the Zub military master, and it is because of the help of the Zub military master that they can be considered to have obtained such a powerful force. Originally, most people here, almost all of them can be said to be homeless people in the villages. It is normal for them to eat the last meal but not the next one. But now, big fish and meat, lots of vegetables and fruits. It was the Zub military advisor who led them out of their status as refugees and no longer had to starve. Now, as soon as Zub military advisor came back. Originally, they were beaten by Rain Shinobi village, and their momentum was restored to the climax in an instant. After all, in their eyes, Zub military advisor is all-powerful and invincible. Chapter 190. Cage level. Konan. 1. Subscribe. Uchiha Kai's order was quickly conveyed. Whether it is the outer members, inner members, and cadres of Shao's organization, after receiving the task, they quickly began to act according to his instructions. The first is the first batch of cadres. They could be said to be the elders of the Shao organization, and Uchiha Qiye was naturally very forthright to give them a second pulse opening, which ended with his second pulse opening. The strength of these cadres directly reached the peak of Jonin. Perhaps, the probability of them reaching cage level in this lifetime is not high. However, it can be said that it is very good to be able to reach the peak of the Jonin level. Besides, it is a group of members of the Shao organization. Follow Uchiha Kai's orders. First, after the second pulse opening of the cadres of the Shao organization, it should be the turn of the inner sect members of the Shao organization. With the help of Uchiha Qiye, the chakra limit of this group of inner sect members has been raised a lot. Even some of them are only some distance away from Jonin. With his help, these people have directly stepped into the Jonin level. But, not many people, however, this also allowed Shao's Jonin to reach double digits. After that, it's the outer member of Akatsuki's organization. To say that Shao's organization has the most members, it is naturally the outer members. Outer door members as many as hundreds of people. As for the members of the inner sect, there were only more than 100 people. But okay. This time, Uchiha Kai's second pulse opening, under the strong promotion of Immortal Technique Chakra, directly increased the strength of these people. Among them, half of the outer sect members broke through directly from the Genin level to the Chunin level. As you can imagine, after this matter, within the organization, there will be a large number of outer sect members promoted to inner sect members. There are also a small number of inner door members who have been promoted to the cadre level of Shao organization. Advertisement. Unfortunately, core member, not 1 or 2 were born. This is also very normal. After all, the most basic standard of core members is cage level. Only when you reach the cage level can you have that qualification. And while Uchiha Qiye was handling things, the other side, Hanzo, who received the gauntlet from the Akatsuki organization, had a cold face. Like that, he just wanted to draw a knife and kill him on the spot. His subordinates didn't dare to make a sound when they saw it, and they didn't dare to breathe. Okay, really good. 35, last time, let them escape with luck. This time, I dare to send a letter of war to the special one. I'm Hanzo. Is it possible that I will be fooled by a group of hairy boys? If they want to, then fight. 99 Hanzo directly grabbed the gauntlet into a ball in his hand and said coldly. He Hanzo, in the second ninja war, is not a loser. But now, someone actually tried to provoke him not long after the end of the second ninja world war. Could it be this time? It makes people forget his name as a demigod and a demigod, but did he play it with his own hard power? Since this Shao organization does not know what to do. I have to teach this junior how to be a man with his tail between his legs. But let them go. Just let them think that he Hanzo is easy to bully. This time, he wants to directly eradicate the unstable factors in this country of rain. Prepare to start. 7 days later, fight with Shao organization. 9. Hanzo said, the war has only just ended for a while. He Hanzo has not yet entered the kind of indulging in money and beauty, and his strength and courage are still at their peak. For Flowers Beat? Advertisement he was never afraid. He started the second ninja war, would he be afraid of Hanzo? He is now. Proud, in my heart, there is no fear. Even if he sets off a third ninja war, he is not afraid. Yes, his subordinates also responded quickly. At this moment, Hanzo has a high reputation. This group of men. Loyalty to him. Naturally, he would not refute Hanzo's words. The other side. Uchiha Qiye also came out of Conan's room, one after the other, the latter, blushing. Master Zug, thanks to your help. Conan looked at the military division Zug and said with a blushing face. Small things. Uchiha Qiye said nonchalantly. Now, your strength has also entered the cage level. I believe that in the next decisive battle with Hanzo, with you, the winning rate will be higher. Uchiha Qiye said. That's right, nothing happened between them. He just used the magic chakra to open the pulse for the other party for the second time. As for why the other party blushed, he doesn't know that. It is estimated that Conan's character is rather shy. Now she is a cage-level powerhouse. Conan's strength, sitting in the position of the core member of Xiao's organization, has some virtues that do not match. If said before, after his magic chakra gave Conan his second pulse, the opponent's strength, with his help, directly entered the ranks of cage level. Anyway, he didn't pay much attention to such details. She definitely deserves this position, because. But now. But. Chapter 191. You can't learn from someone who is too weak to measure chakra. 1. Subscribe. Over several days, the people of Rain Shinobi Village also did not continue to attack the people of Akatsuki's organization. Perhaps, now for Hanzo, this move is no longer necessary. Now that the Shao organization has already issued a letter of war to them, and has determined the time and place of the battle, doing this again can undoubtedly be said to be lowering his own power. Next, what they need to do, to prepare for this battle. Certainly, for Hanzo, he definitely doesn't think his side will lose to this fledgling third-rate organization. Although this organization has a lot of staff, but 777, after several contacts, he also knew that the strength of most of the people in Xiao's organization is basically only Genin. Chunin can only be said to be a small amount, and Jonin is far worse than their Rain Shinobi Village. Cage level? He knew very well that the last time he gave the leader of the Xiao organization the detonating talisman trap, even if he escaped, but he was also sure that his detonating talisman trap caused damage to the people of the Xiao organization. The only cage level was also injured, even if it can be recovered in such a few days. So, the other party couldn't possibly be his Hanzo's opponent. Both sides. They are all starting to prepare for their own combat power. And the gauntlet was sent out on the fourth day. Yahiko also got off the bed. Lying in the hospital bed all this time, it was really uncomfortable for him. He said he was fine, but he couldn't stand his good friends who didn't believe it. He kept pressing him on the bed, telling him not to be stubborn at this time and to have a good rest. Certainly, advertisement for Yahiko, it was speechless. He's not trying to be brave, he's really almost recovered. Therefore, he did not want to lie on the hospital bed. Once out of the hospital bed, he is like a wild horse. Woohoo! You don't have to lie in bed, it's good. Yahiko also stretched his muscles and said. Subsequently, he followed Nagato to meet Uchiha Qiye. He had already learned from the medical staff in the Akatsuki organization that the Zug advisor had issued a battle letter to the demigod Hanzo in Rain Shinobi Village, and the time for the battle had already been set. Such a war. If he, the leader of the Shao organization, was not present, he would have done nothing in vain. So, as soon as you get out of the ward, he was a little impatient. As for what? Of course, he was going to let the Zug military division arrange things for him to do. Otherwise, his body and bones would have been rusted for nearly a week. Uchiha Qiye also saw these two people. Wait first, I will give you two a second pulse opening, 99. He also said to the two of them, the current Shao organization is not as powerful as the future. Can have a ring and a cage level, so, he needs to give the two of them another boost. The other members of Xiao's organization have already accepted his second pulse opening. It makes no sense that one of them is the leader, and the other is the core member. There is no such opportunity. Soon. The second pulse opening of the two also ended very smoothly. Originally, he is already a cage-level Nagato, and he was opened by Uchiha Qiye once, and he is a member of the Uzumaki clan, and the effect was very good the first time. This second time, the opening of the immortal technique Chakra's Pulse has increased his chakra capacity limit by a large amount. Nagato said. This second pulse opening, at least, increased his chakra limit by at least 40%. Advertisement, don't underestimate this 40%. He is already cage level, or a member of the Uzumaki clan. Own a sage body. Even if it is not a very advanced sage body, the amount of chakra is far beyond ordinary people. Just this wave. The amount of chakra that directly makes him in the cage level is almost the leader in this realm. Certainly, a pair of Rinnegan that wasn't his was dragging his back. This time chakra's capacity has increased. When he was using Rinnegan, he wouldn't be so vain. It will be a lot easier. Chakra measures this thing. For ninjas, it is absolutely very important. For example, a certain Hitaki Kakashi in the future, because he was sucked by that Sharingan, chakra became a unit of measurement. Fighting with some opponents, not 3 minutes. This is directly false. Visible, the importance of the amount of chakra. 2.9 As a man, you must never be a real man for 3 minutes. Although Hitaki Kakashi got the ability to open up to anyone. But, men don't like being so, short, man, it has to last. Subsequently, Yahiko also improved a lot after his second pulse, and directly entered the cage level. This time, he deserves the position of the leader. Cage level. I believe that after the people in the Shao organization know his strength, no one will secretly say that his strength is not worthy of the position of leader. Chapter 192. The Day of the Decisive Battle. 1. Subscribe. A few days later, Akatsuki organizes an appointment with Rain Shinobi Village. Drizzle sloping down. It's a good weather, at least, for the country of rain. This drizzle weather is already an excellent weather. The usual heavy rain is really a headache, here. There are also two teams of people gathered. Separately, it is the people of Hanzo and the people of Akatsuki's organization. Hanzo here, they had already arrived early, and the other side. Shao organization is naturally not to be outdone. There are people on both sides, but that's not all of them. 14. It can be said that these people came in advance to observe the enemy's situation. Certainly, for Hanzo, perhaps the other party is not just observing the enemy's situation, there is a great possibility that he wants to see if the Shao organization is there. If not, unspecified, another detonator ambush, after all. To count this insidious method, Hanzo did not use it less at all. Unfortunately, after sending out the gauntlet, the Shao organization has already sent people here to observe it first. The other party has no chance to ambush, same, advertisement. Neither side did anything. The war between the two countries does not come without cuts. This is inevitable, and so are some of the ninjas observed here. The gauntlet has been issued. People are just waiting in their place for the day of the decisive battle. If one side strikes before the decisive battle begins and kills the other side, this is your fault. Really want to do that, it doesn't take a month. Hanzo will become a joke in the ninja world, cage level. Although everyone has done some despicable and dirty things more or less. But, this kind of thing is more hidden, not many people know. But, this kind of open and above-board battle, as long as who does such a thing? Sorry then. The name despicable villain is really going to be stuck on the head and difficult to get rid of. Then came the day of the decisive battle, same came. It was Hanzo who led his own men. Almost in an instant, one after another silhouettes landed on the site guarded by the Rain Shinobi village ninjas. This light rain did not cause any line of sight to be blocked. So, at a glance, those figures, to say the least, are thousands of people. And most importantly, thousands of people, advertisement. All are ninjas. It can be seen that it is powerful. But this is by no means all Hanzo's hands, to him. Just a small organization, there's absolutely no need to go all out. He only took out 70% of his own manpower. After all, in the hands of the manpower, the Shao organization has a large number of people, so the number must not lose to the opponent. As for the other 30% of the staff, naturally, it is guarded in Rain Shinobi village. He was also worried that after he acted, if someone was behind his back, it would be bad, so in Rain Shinobi village, he had to make arrangements to start guarding it. Certainly, this G-man, not necessarily his own. It's also very likely that other people's Shinobi village spies planted in their Rain Shinobi village. After all, Rain Shinobi village has just calmed down. Other Shinobi village people, but 777 does not really want to see them Rain Shinobi village calm down like this. Hanzo walked out slowly. Needless to say, the momentum is full. Even just standing there would give people a strong sense of oppression. At the same time, he is also very disdainful of the people in the Shao organization. Humph. It's just a turkey, it's normal to be afraid of me. The people from Shao's organization, haven't they arrived yet? At first glance, it is a talent of Grandmaster Flattery. Hanzo looked at the opposite side coldly and asked. Under Hanzo's mask, he also smiled. I have to say that when his subordinates flattered, what he heard in his heart was Anshuang. Someone took the opportunity to ridicule the people of Akatsuki's organization, and at the same time flattered Hanzo. Lord Hanzo, they may be afraid of Lord Hanzo's strength, and they are not necessarily ready to escape. 35. Chapter 193. You guys are a bunch of bullies. 1. Subscribe. Oh, is your excellency Hanzo so confident? On the other side, Uchiha Qiye also appeared on the side of the Shao organization in an instant. With his appearance, the figures of the Shao organization also appeared in unison. Yahiko, Konan, Nagato stood beside him. Then, it was the cadres of Shao's organization, and then, the inner members of Shao's organization, and then the outer members. Although during his absence, after the conflict between Akatsuki and Rain Shinobi village, they are here, really lost a lot of manpower, but Akatsuki organizes this organization. With the help of Uchiha Qiye, it has already become a fast-track place. 7 days. As long as Uchiha Qiye has enough chakra, he can quickly cultivate hundreds of newcomers with genin-level chakra. Certainly, he wasn't going to do it yet, because there is no need for that. Just having genin-level chakra is indeed the foundation of genin. However, one thing is very important. Without the experience of actual combat, after bringing it over, 80% of them died in this final battle with Hanzo. Therefore, he has not been in these days. Try to keep adding new people to Akatsuki's organization. Instead, they aim to improve the strength of these members who were already in their organization. Then, Let them face the next decisive battle, have the ability to survive. It was naturally impossible for Uchiha Qiye to protect these guys personally. Advertisement. It's like wanting to grow. Well, you have to experience it yourself. You are the Zug village husband who supported the Akatsuki organization. Hanzo's gaze fell towards the Zug village master, and said. From the information he learned of the Shao organization, it is naturally impossible to miss the information about the important figure of the Shao organization, the Zug village husband. According to the information he has collected so far, the reason why the Shao organization can be so strong. Main cause. It is because of this Zug villager. It is the other party who is helping behind the scenes. In a very short period of time, the people of Shao's organization occupied half of his Rain Shinobi village. It made him want to take action himself to get back half of the lost country. Hanzo, I will give you a chance to live, take your people and surrender to our Shao organization, but I can spare you a dog's life. Uchiha Qiye held a feather fan in his hand, looked at Hanzo calmly, and said. Coercion. In terms of momentum, he absolutely cannot lose to the opponent, otherwise, he will be the first to lose to the opponent. Then he is a forced king. Is he also worthy of the title of a forced king? The lunatic. Hanzo's eyes immediately turned cold. The other party really has a big tone, this tone. Definitely more poisonous than his Sancho fish, so arrogant. He simply didn't take his demigod and half hidden in his eyes at all. Zug village master, don't you have a clear view of the current situation? As far as the manpower of your Shao organization is concerned, it is at most half of my side, and in terms of cutting-edge combat power, you are not on a par with me. I'll give you back what you said just now. Hanzo laughed loudly and said. Advertisement. Judging from this lineup, the opponent was already overwhelmed by him. Not to mention, he Hanzo, but in the cage level, the existence of the pinnacle. He knew that the Akatsuki organization also had cage levels. But, the opponent's cage level is nothing compared to him. This strength is the source of his confidence. Noodle. Is it really? Show your strength to this idiot and let them see what real strength is. Uchiha Qiye waved the feather fan in his hand and said. Yes. 55. Everyone in the Shao organization responded in succession. First. Burst out of its own chakra. Of course, the leader Yahiko, and the core members Nagato and Konan. The cage level chakra on the three of them erupted directly. It seemed that at that moment, Jiao, the drizzle was slightly stagnant in the air for a fraction of a second. This moment, Hanzo just felt the power. Three cage level. Hanzo's eyes widened in surprise. The three. Obviously in the last time, only the red-haired person was cage level. But now, why did the other two leaders of the Akatsuki organization, who were only close to cage level and a woman, actually reach cage level in such a short period of time, just a few days? This is so unreasonable. Is this a ninja? You bastards are a bunch of gangsters. Chapter 194. Just you Hanzo. You don't deserve it. 1. Subscribe. Hanzo is tired. It's that kind of frustratingly tired. Originally, he is sure to win. Now I feel that he doesn't seem to have such a big winning rate. Only because. Opposite is a group of gangsters. The last time we met was about 10 days ago at most. Blink of an eye. Less than half a month. What the heck, just tell me one cage level, and it directly becomes 3 cage levels. There is also the lineup organized by Na Shao. Jonin grade at least double digits. There are also hundreds of Chunin levels. There are also a small number of Genin grades. You are paralyzed. Hanzo couldn't help but scolded secretly. Although the number of the other side is smaller than them. 777 but in strength. The other party is not inferior to them at all. Now it looks like he is the pinnacle of cage level. But, face 3 cage levels. He has that confidence that he won't lose to these guys, but, facing 3 cage levels at the same time, it's not that easy either. Again. Advertisement. The strength of this Shao organization's subordinates is not inferior to that of his subordinates. This moment. Hanzo suddenly regretted it. He has some regrets about why he didn't bring all his own people, or he regretted that a few days ago, he didn't take advantage of the victory to kill the little devils of the Shao organization. Otherwise, it's not that at a time like this, he will feel troubled. If this war with Shao's organization starts, then he even won. His men. There must be serious damage. This was completely different from his original plan. Original plan. He should have absolute strength to easily take down these people. Now, trouble. Zug strategist is really joking. 39. Actually, I didn't come today to fight against Shao organization. Since you and I are both ninjas from the land of rain, why don't we sit down and talk? Maybe we can avoid war and talk about a way of peace. The expression on Hanzo's face changed in an instant, and the tone of his voice changed. What the hell is Hanzo? Evil beast. He even dared to pretend to be Hanzo here, and he didn't show his true form soon. Yahiko, Becj, Konan, and Nagato looked at Hanzo and just wanted to say something like this. Some time ago. They just wanted to talk to each other with the idea of peace, but the result was that they almost went to the Pure Land to see Sage of Six Paths because of the other party's detonating talisman trap. Advertisement. But now, this Hanzo thief really doesn't want billion. Even said such a thing. Moment. Yahiko, Konan, and Nagato realized. Asterisk. These are all changes brought about by power. It was because of the strength of their Akatsuki organization that Hanzo changed his face on the spot and spoke to them amicably. But in another case, if they have no strength, that now. It's another scene. It is estimated that the other party did not say anything, just let a group of subordinates do it, and then destroyed their Shao organization. Hanzo, there is nothing to talk about between you and me. Now you only have two choices. 1. Kneel down at us and beg for mercy, and I can spare you a dog's life. 2. Fight a fight until you are subdued. Uchiha Qiye shook the feather fan gently, with a calm tone, said. He simply did not take the other party in his eyes. Hanzo listen. His face was also ugly. He is Hanzo. A being called a demigod. He specially gave the other party a step down, but the other party didn't even appreciate it. This is really disrespectful to him. Zug villager, I advise you not to make mistakes. 99. Hanzo's face turned cold and said. Joke. 35 Uchiha Qiye waved the feather fan gently, and said disdainfully, just a mere Hanzo. You don't deserve it. Chapter 195. Who is the leader? 1. Subscribe, ding, host is successful in pretending to force. Force point plus 9999. Ding. Pretend points are automatically allocated. A level red lotus explosive flame technique plus 3333. A level burning sea black flame technique plus 6666.55. Ding. A level red lotus explosion technique, 4332/10.0000. The experience is not full. Please try hard to pretend to be the host and upgrade the ability. 35. Ding. A level burning sea and black flame technique, 8331/10.0000. Not yet full of experience. Please try hard to pretend to be a host and upgrade your abilities. 5. 66. 99. The system beep sounded. Uchiha Qiye also clearly heard the voice from the system's ear. Again, he made a small profit. Opposite, Hanzo was also annoyed by Uchiha Kai's words. If not, you have a little strength. Do I still need to be afraid of Hanzo? You have already been wiped out. Stop talking, superior. Let this Hanzo know the power of our Akatsuki organization. 35. Uchiha Qiye also waved his hand holding the feather fan and said loudly. Rush. Kill. Knife in hand, kill the Tibetan dog. Moment. After Uchiha Kai's words fell, the members of the Akatsuki organization also shouted in charge. Now, they are full of confidence, just because strategist Zub was on their side. Although this battle has just started, they already have a certainty of victory. Aside. Yahiko. 66. 99 advertisement FK. Are you the leader or am I the leader? He just felt his whole being torn apart. The leader of him is probably just the mascot that was put out. True leader. Also have to watch Zub military master. Can't help it, he felt like he wanted to cry a little. It is estimated that this is the first time in the ninja world that the leader is his. Go. Seeing this, Hanzo also gave an order to attack. The other party didn't push him anymore. Now, saying anything more is of no use. Originally, he still wanted to fool the other party, and then ruthlessly kill the other party. Now it seems, or his eloquence, the two armies fought. Especially for ninjas, the battle is naturally very fierce. One after another ninjutsu is displayed from their hands, and some people choose to hold weapons to fight the enemy one-on-one. In short, this is indeed a bloody battlefield. Dead? Sorry, this is a battlefield. How could there be a fight? No one shed a drop of blood, and no one was injured. That is obviously impossible. Earth style, wind style, water style, advertisement fire style. Almost the ninjutsu of these four attributes is displayed on this battlefield of thousands of people. As for why there is no fire style, in the weather like the land of rain, 80% of the people who use fire style here are hit in the head. When you cast a fire style, you don't need the enemy to do anything. In this weather, the damage is halved, which is a bit of a feat. Therefore, among so many people present, no one cast fire style. For flowers if there is, that guy must be an idiot. Yahiko, Nagato, Konan, the three of you, come on and deal with Hanzo. Uchiha Qiye said to the people beside him. Hanzo's strength is at the peak of cage level, of course. This peak is mainly due to the opponent's poisonousness. Otherwise, according to the opponent's strength, whether it is strong or strong, it will not be able to reach the peak. At best, the weaker ones in the top ranks. But, the strength of Yahiko, Konan, Nagato and others has only just entered the cage level. The three of them deal with Hanzo together, and it's almost the same. Call it to me. Yahiko, Master Zug said to come together, don't make the same mistake last time. Be careful, even though we're at cage level, Hanzo isn't so easy to deal with. 35. Yahiko said confidently. On the side, Nagato's words hit Yahiko, and Konan reminded the two of them not to make the same mistake last time. The three also rushed out. Say it. Opposite. This guy, won't you take action? Hanzo also became vigilant and secretly murmured in his heart. But, Hanzo's brows also twitched, he knew that these people were coming for him. Seeing Yahiko et al. In action. Or are you going to use these three little devils to consume me, and then shoot? Chapter 196. Don't talk about forbearance. 1. Subscribe. Paper dance. Almost instantly, after Konan performed this ninjutsu, a pair of paper wings appeared directly behind her. Although it was a battlefield of rain, it had no effect on Konan. When he was learning the paper escaping technique, Konan had already improved the paper used in the paper escaping technique, and now it has been improved into waterproof paper. Of course, there is also a downside, afraid of oil. But this ninjutsu, 777, is very convenient. In the ninja world, there are not many ninjutsu that can fly. The Shiki dance is a type of ninjutsu that can fly. Especially when you enter this state, you can be immune to a lot of attacks. Paper shuriken technique. Flying high in the sky, Conan waved his hand, and the pieces of paper floating beside her were instantly folded into a shuriken. Under Conan's control, they shot directly towards Hanzo. Although it is made of paper, with the input of chakra, the paper can be hardened, and even made it sharper. When used, the power is no different from that of an ordinary shuriken. In particular, the price of paper shuriken is relatively cheap. Waterproof paper. This stuff is not that expensive. Shish, along with the paper shuriken, it fell. Body flicker technique. Hanzo performed his body flicker technique dodge. Advertisement. He looked at Conan with murderous intent in his eyes. Can fly. This is definitely a troublesome opponent. You can only attack the opponent through some ninjutsu. But the other party has been standing high above the sky and can always play a protracted battle with him. Fight. If you are not careful, there will be a flaw or the like. It must not be attacked by the opponent, so, he just wanted to be the first to kill Conan now. However, water-style water rumble. Yahiko rushed over, opened his mouth, and directly sprayed out a water gun like a waterfall and went straight to Hanzo. Earth-style earth stream wall. Hanzo quickly formed the seal and slapped it on the ground. A wall of earth rose from the ground, directly blocking the opponent's attack. Universal pull. Nagato is also a hand move. Activate the ability of Rinnegan. Hanzo only felt his body being pulled up quickly, his feet vacated directly, and flew in the direction of Nagato. Advertisement. Damn it, kid. Seeing this, Hanzo also quickly threw his scythe directly towards Nagato. Using the scythe as a throwing weapon, he still has a certain degree of accuracy. With the other hand, he grabbed the chain at the back of the scythe. In this way, he can quickly retract the sickle when he misses the opponent. Shen Luo Tianzheng. 35 Nagato's eyes turned cold, and he opened his palm towards Hanzo. In an instant, a repulsive force erupted from his body, heading straight towards Hanzo. Boom. The sickle that was about to fall on him was also thrown away by this repulsive force. Hanzo, who was flying towards Nagato because of universal pull, was also in midair and felt a huge repulsive force swept in. Following that, it was as if his entire body was punched by a huge fist. The three of them cooperated, and the tacit understanding made him feel very difficult at the peak of cage level. Damn, not forbearance, 3 young boys, bullying me, an old man. Hanzo quickly got up from the ground, looked at the 3, and said angrily. Code, too shameless. 3 on 1. The whole person flew out directly. 2.9 Outrageous. This moment, there was only this thought in Hanzo's mind. Chapter 197. I don't want to waste too much time. 1. Subscribe. Brush. The rain has been falling, and the atmosphere is not harmonious. The country of rain suffers from heavy rain all the year round. Of the 365 days of the year, at least 350 days are soaked in the wind and rain, which makes the country always sad, crying and mourning. Hey. Conan sneered. A man who is known as a demigod, and regarded as the pinnacle of the ninja world, to let a peace-loving Akatsuki organization ambush our Akatsuki organization, 3 against 1, is already the greatest for you. Respect and recognition, so take your life. As soon as the voice fell, the countless paper shuriken in the pouring rain blasted towards Hanzo. The densely packed paper shuriken fluttered in the sky. It seemed to be more ferocious than the heavy rain, and it was also whistling furiously. Seeing this level of paper shuriken, the entire sky is covered, and there are no dead ends, no omissions, and there is no way to quickly escape, only passive defense. I saw Hanzo just about to use ninjutsu to fight. Flying these paper shurikens, his face changed slightly in the next second. No, there is a detonating talisman. Just about to dodge back, avoid these paper shuriken that are about to explode, and then just move, but the retreating body is forced to move forward. Universal pull. Boom. Boom boom boom. 35 countless paper shuriken exploded around Hanzo, instantly drowning him in the sound of the explosion, causing the entire battlefield to be smoky and vibrating. Is it resolved? Yahiko asked. Kindness? Advertisement? For such a question, we know that the story is definitely not simple, and it will not follow people's wishes. Nagato and Conan looked at Yahiko, and then both stared at the explosion, wanting to know how Hanzo was hurt in such a violent explosion. Although the cooperation between the two was very tacit just now, one approached Hanzo with the detonating talisman. Hanzo wanted to escape, but couldn't escape, because he was pulled into the detonating talisman by Nagato's suction. So many detonating talismans exploded all around Hanzo, and it seemed that the scene was magnificent. But the three of them knew that Hanzo was not so easy to be killed by the detonating charm. If he were to die so easily, he would become a joke, as if he was killed by fire style. Hanzo walked out of the smoke with a coughing sound. His body was dirty everywhere. Obviously he was a little embarrassed by the explosion. The cooperation is very tacit, Hanzo praised, like when Zhang Jin faced Sanin. However, the former Sanin, as a young and up-and-coming young man in Konoha village, considered that the relationship between the two countries did not want to be too stiff. Sanin was the apprentice of 3rd Hokage, so he chose to let Sanin go. However, in the face of Akatsuki, a member of the organization that caused riots in the Land of Rain, Hanzo would no longer be soft-hearted. At this time, his eyes were even more indifferent, and under this cloudy and rainy sky, it made people feel shivering all over. I almost got your way. Hanzo looked around, but fortunately there was no problem, facing the thousands of detonating talismans just now. If it weren't for his high physical fitness, good physical skills, and weapons in his hand, otherwise in the explosion just now, even elite Jonin would have been blown up and seriously injured. Advertisement, it's okay. The three of them looked at each other, knowing that this level of fighting was not enough to seriously injure this man who was currently the strongest in the ninja world in cage level. Continue on, cooperate from left to right, I will use that technique, Nagato said solemnly. He knew that to defeat Hanzo, he had to use some more powerful means. Although doing so would damage his own vitality, the longer the battle here dragged on, the more detrimental it would be to the entire Akatsuki organization. After all, Hanzo can mobilize the ninjas of the entire Rain Country, and all the members of Akatsuki's organization have now joined this battlefield. What? Nagato, are you going to use that technique? No, that technique has done too much damage to you, and I won't allow it. Konan looked at Nagato in disbelief, not wanting Nagato to deal with Hanzo in that way. But she saw Nagato's resolute eyes, and after seeing Nagato's serious and earnest appearance, Konan gritted her teeth and said, we still haven't reached the point where the mountains and rivers are exhausted, let's try again. It's unnecessary, just use this trick to solve the battle as soon as possible, I don't want to waste too much time. But, Konan wanted to say something else, but saw that Nagato had put his hands together and was mobilizing all the chakras in his body. The expression on his face was even more ferocious. He resolutely changed his style, and tried his best to look like constipation. Okay. Since Nagato has insisted on it, what can he and Yahiko say? After all, the childhood sweethearts who grew up together naturally know that Nagato usually talks less, but the things he decides will never change. Yahiko, let's go together and buy him time. Konan turned to look at Hanzo, Yahiko nodded and said okay, and then attacked Hanzo together with Konan. Hanzo looked at Nagato who was mobilizing chakra and sneered, it's just a pretense. Saying that, he went to meet Konan and Yahiko. Chapter 198. He has the title of demigod. 1. Please subscribe for full order. Chapter 198. He has the title of demigod. 1. Please subscribe for full order. In fact, the three of them didn't pose at all, but after seeing the huge chakra mobilized by Nagato, Hanzo naturally thought that they had an extremely powerful ultimate move in the pipeline. Therefore, it is absolutely impossible for such a killer move to be brewed, and it must be smashed into a conspiracy. So, Hanzo immediately attacked Konan and Yahiko, but Hanzo's real purpose was to attack Nagato. But to break Nagato's poised chakra, one must first get past Konan and Yahiko. Boom. Boom boom boom. 35. A series of explosions rumbled in the ears. That's Konan's detonating talisman madly throwing it towards Hanzo, but it was of no use, because Hanzo 777 was always able to avoid these detonating talismans. On the contrary, he was able to fight against Yahiko with ease. Secret technique, poisonous body technique. In the confrontation with Yahiko, Hanzo naturally developed his own secret technique. His secret technique itself can release a lot of poisonous gas from the body, and once such poisonous gas permeates the entire battlefield, it is inevitable however, it will make others terrified. Yahiko was in a close combat with Hanzo, but unexpectedly, a very strong poisonous gas suddenly erupted from Hanzo's body. Yahiko held his breath for the first time, raised his hand to cover his mouth and nose, and stepped back. Advertisement. You can't melee him if you retreat back, this guy will release poisonous gas in melee combat. Although he obviously already knew about Hanzo's strength and many ninjutsu skills. But BECJ could not avoid a moment's negligence, and started a close battle with Hanzo, but Yahiko was on guard from beginning to end, so there was no Hanzo's way. If not, it is very likely that in that poisonous gas just now, at least he had to cough madly, and even the poisoning was not shallow. Konan has always been a ninja with medium and long range attacks. Of course, she can also attack at short distances, but fighting at a certain distance with the enemy is the best choice for Konan, who is not very good at taijutsu. Did you escape? Hanzo smiled slightly. It seems that my information leaked a little too much, it doesn't matter, I was already in the Second Ninja World War, so you know too much about my strength. But don't think that these methods of mine can easily relieve them. The voice fell. Next second, Hanzo directly raised his hand and took a bite, then mobilized chakra. Summoning technique Sanjiao Fish, 35. With a loud bang, a huge body suddenly appeared in the white fog, and Hanzo, who occupies the huge body, looked at the three of them at this moment without fear. Advertisement. Then facing my summoning beast, I wonder if you can still fight me? The three members of Akatsuki's organization, I have to admit that your strength is indeed very strong, and you have reached the level of true elites in all aspects of ninjutsu taijutsu. But in the face of my Sanshoyu, let's see if you can stand it. Even Sanin once couldn't fight against my Sanshoyu. So what kind of strength can you come up with to satisfy me? If not, it would be a real pity. The three of them looked at the Sancho fish from Hanzo summoning. They knew that this fish was very difficult to deal with. Of course, the most difficult thing to deal with was that it would spit out too much poison, and these poisonous gas itself had a great effect on ninjas. Extremely lethal and corrosive, etc. Just after this fish came out summoning, there was fog all around for the first time, and these were not the so-called fog at all, but were full of toxins. Because people are really in an invincible state on the battlefield, and no ninja can resist such poisonous gas. It is absolutely impossible to get close to this fish, because the breath emanating from this fish is too desperate. Even if it is mainly Chio among the Sanagakure, although they are very good at making and detoxifying poison, they are still not immune to the attack of this Sancho fish. It's terrifying. Is this Hanzo-sama's Sancho fish? It's the first time I've seen it. It's really powerful. It really gives people a feeling that they don't dare to approach. Therefore, after the opening, naturally a few ninjas who accidentally fought and retreated to this side in the 4 weeks, after breathing such air for the first time, immediately had a burst of syncope. Immediately after that, he fell directly to the ground, foaming at the mouth on the spot, and finally his eyes were wide open, and he died tragically with an unwilling appearance. Otherwise, why would it be said that Hanzo's Sanjiao fish would become a hegemonic weapon in the Ninja World War, and it would be impossible for Hanzo to have the title of a demigod? Hanzo's Sanjiao fish can be said to dominate the entire ninja world, especially in the Ninja World War. Once summoning this thing, it can cause unimaginable damage to the enemy's ninja army. Chapter 199. The Horror of the Pepperfish. 2. Please subscribe for full subscription. Chapter 199. The Horror of the Pepperfish. 2. Please subscribe for full subscription. The appearance of the Sanjiao fish resolutely represented Hanzo. Obviously he was really serious. After all, it can be seen that this Nagato has accumulated a lot of chakra, and even chakra has obviously reached this substantial situation. I didn't expect that this Nagato actually contained such a huge chakra in his body. He seemed to be weak, but once he mobilized the chakra, he was surprised to find that the amount of chakra was far beyond what Hanzo had imagined for him. Having such a majestic chakra itself means that this Nagato's brewing big move is beyond the imagination of this Hanzo. So Hanzo wanted to start early and interrupted the extraction of his chakra in advance, so he gave his summoning beast Sanjiao to summoning as soon as possible. Poison spray. In an instant, a large amount of poison was sprayed out of the mouth of the Sanjiao fish, so that the entire battlefield was enveloped in poison gas for 4 weeks. In the same way, there are many ninjas between the two sides fighting, and after being infested by this poison, both the members of Akatsuki's organization and the ninjas of Rain Shinobi Village were all covered with this poisonous gas on the spot. Ah, it hurts. What's the smell? What's this thing? Why am I in so much pain? This is Hanzo-sama's Sancho fish, and it is an indiscriminate attack, so hurry to retreat, hurry to get away, if not, it will mean the arrival of danger. 35. Retreat immediately and immediately retreat, we must not get too close, if we get too close, we will pay an unimaginable price. So in this case, whether it was a member of Akatsuki's organization or the ninja of Rain Shinobi Village, they all stayed away from the battlefield for the first time. Advertisement, of course they know. The appearance of the Sanjiao fish resolutely means that Hanzo is in real action. Under such circumstances, he is still on the battlefield, which is simply an act of death. And now there are only 4 people left on the battlefield. They are Conan. Because of the pair of purple wings behind him, Conan naturally flies high and is far away from the poisonous gas. When Hanzo saw it, he couldn't help but frown. He knew that this woman might be difficult to deal with, because this woman didn't seem to have many flaws, whether it was a long-range attack or a short to medium-distance attack. She wanted to attack her, but she could easily dodge it, and use a shuriken or a detonating charm to force herself back. Only this Yahiko is relatively simple, using some very ordinary ninjutsu plus his taijutsu. So at the beginning, I really had a close fight with him. I wanted to use melee to spray the poison gas that I was carrying, maybe I could poison this guy. But he had been on guard for a long time, and there was no way for him to let his poisonous gas reach this Yahiko. And this Nagato is still mobilizing chakra frantically, even if he has already given the Sancho fish to summoning, and sprayed too much poison gas for 4 weeks. But these poisonous gases came to this Nagato's 4 weeks and completely enveloped him. It is a pity that these poisonous gases did not have any effect on Nagato, but Nagato is still condensing chakra. The reason why Nagato will not be affected is very simple, because the chakras that come out crazily and wantonly on their own body have already blocked the poisonous gas, so how can it be possible for the poisonous gas of the Sanjiao fish to hurt themselves? Advertisement. For flowers. Hanzo's brows furrowed even tighter. 2 of the 3 are extremely difficult guys to deal with, especially this Nagato, who has an extremely powerful chakra. Sure enough, this is the person who owns a pair of Rinnegan's. The chakra in his body is simply countless times more terrifying than he imagined, even compared to his own chakra. Hanzo felt that he had 56 times more chakra than he did. It is clear that he is the real cage-level powerhouse, the existence at the peak of this level of cage level. In the face of these 3 weaklings who have just reached cage level, he is under extremely powerful pressure. It seems that we can only deal with this Yahiko first. After all, Yahiko is a very ordinary ninja. Although his strength is indeed very strong, he is a very ordinary ninja with relatively strong comprehensive strength. If that's the case, let's just get rid of it first. As for what kind of means this Nagato will have, since there is no way to break through them, then wait and see what kind of big move he will release. At the same time, the village husband of Zub was no longer in this battlefield, because he went to the direction of the Land of Rain alone. The Land of Rain has sent a support team to Hanzo, and they need to be intercepted by themselves. So Zub village husband naturally galloped all the way to the country of Rain, but he did not expect to encounter a ninja from the country of Rain on the way. Chapter 200. Siege Zub Village. 1. Please subscribe for full subscription. Chapter 200. Siege Zub Village. 1. Please subscribe for full subscription. When the support ninja of the Rain country rushed to Hanzo's side, he happened to collide with the masked Zub village husband. This person seems to be a military advisor in Akatsuki's organization, right? Haha, I didn't expect him to be alone here, so if that's the case, what else is there to say? Go up together, surround him, kill him, and then go to support us Hanzo-sama. Yes, take his head to Hanzo-sama, and Hanzo-sama will definitely be very happy when he sees it. 99. So in this case, there were about 777 ninjas from the Land of Rain who came to support them, including about 5 Jonin, and the rest were all Chunin. And their overall strength is relatively much higher than the level of ninjas in other countries. After all, Uchiha is such a village that lives in the cracks. For this village that is always crying, most of the ninjas in the village are actually slightly better than the 5 major ninja villages. Many people think that it is difficult for a relatively powerful ninja to be born in such a weak village, but in fact this is not the case. Because of the Hanzo in the Land of Rain, this village can survive among the 5 major ninja villages and has the title of the 6th ninja village. And Hanzo has built the Rain Country into a pretty good ninja village, so the overall quality of the ninjas in the village is still very good. Immediately after seeing Zug Village Master, more than 20 ninjas were divided and surrounded, and a large number of detonating talismans were cast towards Zug Village Master in the encirclement immediately. Boom. Advertisement: the detonating talisman exploded in Zug Village's 4th week, so that he was instantly drowned in the sound of explosions and smoke. Successful. This Zug villager doesn't dodge, it's just a dead act, it should be the limbs that he blew up. That's right, can he survive under dozens of detonating charms? Obviously impossible. Everyone was quite sure. After all, they threw a lot of shuriken in the first time they surrounded the China village uniform, and behind the shuriken were burning detonating talismans. Everyone witnessed these detonating charms with their own eyes, and they exploded during the 4 weeks of Zug village. If Zug village was at the center of the explosion, if he did not defend himself, he would obviously be killed. It was raining in the sky, and Yujiguo was always in grief, and the smoke and vibrations generated by the explosion of the detonating talisman disappeared quickly in the rain. After the smoke dissipated, everyone was surprised to find that the surrounding land of Zug village had long been blasted out of various potholes. However, the village husband of Zug who was in it, the auspicious cloud robe of the Shao organization on his body, did not show any damage. He didn't succeed, he actually didn't move at all. In the explosion just now, what kind of means did he use to resist all these detonating talismans? No matter how he resisted, the family was still alive and well, so the 5 Jonins in the support team, one of whom had a scar on his face, nodded to the people on the left and right. After the Jonin on the left and right knew it for the first time, they disappeared on the spot without any trace. But the next second, the 2 businessmen surrounded Zug village husband's retreat, and in the pattering rain, there was a sonorous and powerful collision of ninja tools. Advertisement: boom. 99. Dang dang, dang dang, dang dang. All kinds of ninja tools collided together, and one wonderful spark after another burst out in the air. 2 Jonin, one attacked the top lane, the other attacked the bottom lane, and there were 2 other masters who attacked Zug village husband one after the other. So where did this last Jonin go? When Zug village was curious, he suddenly felt a vibration under his feet, and when he looked down, he saw that this Uchiha ninja could use earth-style ninjutsu, and almost pulled himself into the ground. If he hadn't noticed the strangeness at the first time, perhaps he would have fallen into a state of anxiety during the siege of these 5 Jonin. Fortunately, the escape was timely, and there was no crisis, and it was easy to avoid the alliance of 5 people. It's a little tricky. These 5 Jonin's combined blows did not hold the Zug villager, seeing 2 9's very smart and decisive dodge and so on. I know that this Zug village husband is much more powerful than the various combat skills in the information, and he is far from the kind of sloppy who only has wisdom but no combat power as he thinks. Rather, he is a guy who is very superior in physical skills, and is still able to handle the siege of 5 Jonin's combined forces. The other Chunin quickly evacuated to support Hanzo-sama and the others. The 5 of us joined forces to kill him and then went over. Genin turned his head in the direction of Hanzo's battlefield immediately.